Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome, everyone. It's the latest edition of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, along with G. Bush and Tyvis Powell. I'm Adam the Bull. We've got Mike, Steve, and Anthony on the other side of the glass.
I thought you were going to say Jerry Judy on the other side. I was like,
who am I forgetting there? Oh, Anthony. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Earl up in the perch as well, and a lot to get to today. G is having problems with his. What is happening with you?
Man, listen, man.
What is going on with your earpiece?
My ear.
It's not working?
My ear ding-a-long thing ain't working. What's up, bro? I can't hear nothing.
We do have guests today coming up later.
Yeah, I might want to hear
We got
something.
Mary Kay and we got Sean King today, right, Mike?
We do. Sean King at 12:15, Mary Kay at 12. We're talking some Browns, some Cavs, a little bit of everything today.
All right, once again,
when did that happen?
Tyvis is concerned about the new lights. He hasn't seen those.
When did that happen?
they just started yesterday.
Yesterday was the
we
first
were going to
day.
ignore them and pretend that nothing's changed, but you just threw that out the window. They're very bright. You got to get just used to it. The lights are. It's an adjustment for us.
You know what's crazy?
And I adjusted it yesterday in that spot, and now I'm in the other spot, so it's a new adjustment.
So what's crazy is I was looking at the TV, and I'm like, you can't help but not like.
I don't know if have the fans at home noticed the difference.
You guys look so much better.
Yeah,
I'm serious. It looks so
Does it
much
shrink
better.
some weight off me or what? What's happening?
They said, G. Bush, your skin is glowing. I said,
is
it's
your
the
skin glowing?
lights. Ooh.
Messed me up.
The new light, but it's an adjustment. My eyes are a little like.
I'm sorry.
Squinting a
I'm
little.
sorry. I didn't know we wasn't supposed to say that.
No,
Man,
it doesn't matter. I'm just kidding. By the way, it's time real quick before we get into some of the crux of the day to play my favorite game show real quick, and that's Did Adam the Bull Do the Right Thing? I speak as myself in the first
I love
person
this
there.
game.
Last time it was me calling the police. Well, you guys, you were here.
I think I heard the story.
Yeah, I gave him. I say, here's
About the
dog in the
left
car,
in
and
the car.
I called the police. Yeah. All right. Here's the latest incident. So, after 6.5 months of being involved with youth baseball, the season finally came to first the regular season and the fall season came to an end this past Sunday. We did our All-Star games, and that wrapped it up. Now, in our first All-Star game,
I thought he was about to say he retired.
I did.
no, I'm not. No. I'm too involved. I'm too involved. But in the first All-Star, so we separate of the All-Star games because we have 4 grades. So we have the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade All-Star games, right? And so I'm in with the 6th and 7th graders. And for our 6th grade All-Star game, the rule was we were going to play 90 minutes or 6 innings, whichever came first. But I said to the other coach, I said, if we get to 90 minutes and we're just about to start the 6th inning and it's a close game, let's play that 6th inning even if we're a couple of minutes over. So what happens, the game through 5, it's a 6-5 game. It was like an hour and 31 minutes. The other coach had to leave. So the assistant coach didn't know this. So I was like, no, they were coming out to shake hands because they had won 6-5. And I said, no, we're going to play one more inning, 6 innings. Well, as soon as I say that, some of the parents for the kids on the other team start booing. All right? And then we settled it. I said, all right, let's go. Let's play. So 30 seconds later, as we're about to start, I'm in the opposite dugout. I scream over to the parents that were booing, and I said, nice sportsmanship you're showing your kids by booing booing them playing one more inning of baseball. So that's the first part. So then this woman comes over like 2 minutes later as we're about to start the inning. This woman who, I don't know who the hell she is. She hasn't helped Let me tell you something, folks. Okay? I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, but just to give you the reality. This fall baseball league, okay, I'm the commissioner of the league. I spend an insane amount of hours trying to make this league a great experience for the kids, okay? And I give my time. I get no money. I'm not looking for any money. It's all volunteer time. I spend hours at home. I spend hours with the kids.
What else?
Because I want them to have a great experience, okay? It's not about me. It's about them. And when the kids have fun and have success, then it makes me happy. That makes me happy. So this woman had the nerve to come over to me and said, she goes, "You're showing bad sportsmanship. The only reason the game is continuing is because your team is losing." And I said, "Lady, you don't know me." And then one of my assistant coaches who knows me well.
You don't know me.
One of the assistant coaches, he goes, "I think you should go sit down, ma'am."
That's one of
my assistant coaches, because they knew I was going to get angry. I was very angry because I would never. That sixth inning was going to be played whether my team was winning or not. Mm-hmm. That's irrelevant. I wanted the kids, if there was time, and there was, to be able to play a sixth inning, because that's what we played for baseball games, and there was no reason not to play that sixth inning.
I love that energy.
Okay, and that if we were winning the game, I would 100% have continued the game without a doubt. I wouldn't even have crossed my mind to not end the game, to end the game because we're winning. Not for a minute. This woman had the nerve, a woman who has not once spent a moment volunteering her time to help. Now, maybe she does other things. She might be a saint for all I know. But in this example, she has not spent a single moment helping with this league. I've spent countless hours, and for her to accuse me of that was pissed me off, okay?
Before you started that, man, as you was talking, man, I was thinking McNuggets. I was like, is he talking about the baseball or super chats? Nah. I was just playing. I was just playing. I love you.
And we're going to get to that.
I love you.
What we ended up doing, the umpire.
I love you.
The umpire was a little upset with the umpire was getting aggravated. The whole thing was so I ended up not playing the sixth inning. I said, you know what? Let's end the game. Fine. Let's end the game.
Hey, listen. Shout out.
So because of obnoxious parents, the kids had, and I'm sure those parents think I'm an ass.
Probably.
And I don't care because they were wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that I wanted their kids to play one more inning of baseball had nothing to do with whether their kids are winning or losing.
So, Paul, take me back to the beginning. What is the rule for the sixth inning?
Okay. So this was not a rule all season. We decided for the All-Star games we would play 6 innings, but we made an hour-and-a-half time limit because we wanted to get the next game started.
Did you post these rules?
No, we did not post the rules. I thought that was unnecessary.
she was confused a little bit by the new rules.
So none of the parents knew anything about it. Just the coaches knew these rules.
That's right.
But the head coach was gone.
Right.
Oh. Did the assistant and the assistant didn't know the rule?
He did not. No. Apparently, I would have assumed that.
So technically, the only person there that knew the rule was you.
Right.
Well, yes.
So it was kind of
that's wild. So like you can see why.
I get it, Tyvis, but it was literally like it was an hour 30 on the dot. Or an hour 30. It wasn't like we were 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I get that.
It's like, why would you fight against the kids playing? And that's why. In the end,
you never know what other people got going on. They might like.
It wasn't about that.
She might have had something else.
They were only concerned about the kids on their team winning, which, all right, whatever. Everybody wants to win. I get it, but
at the end of the
I just thought they were anyway. So did I do the right thing, or was I wrong?
Well, for calling the game?
No, for yelling at the parents.
Yeah, you shouldn't have did that.
You think so?
Yeah, you shouldn't have.
G, you with me or you against me?
you talking about the nice sportsman?
Yeah. You should have said. You should have.
I'm getting voted down by the panel.
You should have pulled her aside and say, "Listen, look, you should explain to them. Hey, I just want the kids to get whether my team was up or not. I just want them to get. They were
inclined not to believe anything I said.
They was already predisposed.
And maybe the communication wasn't great, and maybe that's my fault.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Ultimately, my intentions when it comes to kids baseball are always about having a great experience for the kids and playing as much baseball as they can.
You know what you should have did?
And I have no other motives.
You know what you should have did?
Yeah.
You should have got with the coach and discussed, do you want to do a 6 inning? I know we at 1:30. Would you like to do one more inning?
Yeah.
And if he would have said like everybody would have seen y'all come
I
together
didn't-
to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then if y'all would have played it, they would have
you're
been like,
right,
oh, they
Tyvis.
both agreed on it.
I needed you there. In fairness, I didn't realize that the head coach of the other team had left.
Okay.
I didn't realize he had left, so I assumed there was no issue
I got
that he
you.
knew it. But it is what it is. We move on. Mike, we have another important announcement to make.
Yeah, before we dive into topics, we want to say thank you to everyone who sends in Super Chats. It is an invaluable part of the show. We appreciate the back and forth, but we have grown to a point now where we are getting 60 more Super Chats a show, and there's no good way to fit all those Super Chats into our 2-hour program while giving them the attention they deserve. So what we have decided as a show is you have up until 12:15 to send in a Super Chat. If you send in a Super Chat after 12:15, it's not going to get read. We want to make sure we give the attention to the Super Chats that are sent in. We don't want to just speed through them like we have in the past to get them all in. But we did them all yesterday. It took an hour and change to get through them all. That's just not plausible on a day-to-day basis. So we appreciate everyone who sends in Super Chats. We love the fact that you guys want to engage and interact with us. You have until 12:15 to send a Super Chat in. Anthony's pinned a message in the chat. So we appreciate the Super Chats. Send in as many as you want up until 12:15. But if you send one in after 12:15, it will not get read at the end of the show. And we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and let me just say that, we've been talking about this off the air for a couple of weeks. It was something that we didn't plan for because we never thought that we'd get all this amount of Super Chats. Sometimes we're going to say you're just like when I was on the radio, just like when G. Bush is on the radio. Tyvis, maybe he's too nice, he doesn't do it. But sometimes you're going to get a caller who's going to say something you think is stupid, you're going to say it's stupid. We bust each other's balls all the time. If you try to be part of the show, we may bust your chops too. That's just part of the deal. It's not personal. And yesterday, if you were part of the show, first of all, we had a record number of people watching, and we appreciated that. But it's just not sustainable, folks, for us to spend an extra hour just reading Super Chats. It's just not. We have other things we got to get to.
It's not realistic.
It's just not sustainable. So, and we don't want to just blow through it and ignore everybody's comments. But so that's why we're cutting it down here. And we're not used to this many Super Chats because for most of the show, it's always been like 5 minutes or 7 minutes, whatever, most. And so we can get in. And sometimes people ask good questions or make good comments that we can check. And sometimes we want to turn it into a conversation. But if we have to read 75 different Super Chats, it's just not possible. We can't spend all day doing the show.
And put a nice little bow on it. Like, the great part about it is there's a lot of people who never send a Super Chat. If you send a Super Chat, we love you to death. If you can't send a Super Chat, that's okay. Just like and comment. What you guys do in the chat section is great because it gets our content out to new different types of people who now are part of the big family. So we just want to say, first and foremost, more than anything, you guys are the lifeblood of the show. Without you guys, we couldn't have a show. Without you supporting all the day ones that be here every single day, never miss a show wherever you at, we appreciate you. So this is by no means necessary a shot or a slight to you guys. We understand where our bread is buttered, and we appreciate you. And we hope you continue to understand that as we continue to grow and continue to get bigger and bigger. We never forget the day ones and the people that move.
And we want to give you the best quality content we can. And we felt like just reading an hour worth of Super Chats, even though some of them are really good, is just not giving the general audience, our whole audience, the quality that we think you deserve and we want to give you.
So we're going to try a couple different things. We're starting today by cutting them off at 12:15. That is the deadline. Ant's going to mark at 12:15 what the last Super Chat is, anything that comes in after. We appreciate it, just not going to get read. And if this doesn't work, we'll figure out another solution. But that is how we're going to handle Super Chats moving forward. With that being said, guys, let's then dive into our first topic of the day. It's brought to us by Rougit. What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. And if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougit Go Long. It isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer in confidence. If you're ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom, head to Rougit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That's Rougit.com, promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. Before we talk about Kevin Stefanski and his play calling decisions, we got to talk about the stadium deal the Browns and the city came to yesterday. It's a $100 million deal between the Haslam Sports Group, God bless you, and the city of Cleveland over the next couple of years. Some of the highlights: they will be paid $25 million by December 1st of this year. The Browns and the Haslam Sports Group will pay $30 million to help raise and clear the current stadium site, so it's ready to be built on.
Raise, R-A-Z-E?
That's how they spelled it in the press release, so I copied that directly from the press release. They will give $5 million per year to the city in each of the 5 years from 2029 to 2033. They'll donate $20 million to community projects to help rebuild the lakefront. In total, it's a $100 million commitment, and they will dismiss all future lawsuits that may come up between the city, Brook Park, and the stadium. So this is, I think, the final step in this whole process.
Yeah,
hopefully we don't talk about it again.
Go ahead, Tyvis.
So they getting $30 million to bulldoze the thing?
I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't think we want to get caught up in the specifics of how much they're getting for each thing.
I don't care about that, but I'm just saying. So they knocking the stadium down.
They're going to, yeah.
Okay. That's sad, man.
You know, I guess
please, just one home playoff game before they knock the thing down. Just one. Man, this is sad to go from 99 to 2028 and not host one playoff game. Y'all gotta find some motivation. We gotta figure this out. I know a lot of the talk is about the 29. Even I said that they don't care until 2029. But man, they got to get at least one. Send it off right in 28.
More importantly to me, I hope, and I don't know anything about this type of stuff, but I hope in the long run, like 20 years from now, if God forbid, if we're all lucky enough to be alive 20 years from now, that this will end up being a good thing in the long run for the city of Cleveland, and that it will help improve the city by, building the lakefront and we've talked about Chicago and what's that like, and obviously Cleveland's not as big a city, and they don't have a highway right near the lake, but I hope that down the line this becomes a positive for the city. And all I know is I see that a comment as part of this tweet is that the Haslam said they'll cover any of the shortfall from the public money. And I think about how much public money, and I know people are going to say, well, it's coming from unclaimed, whatever. And I looked it up yesterday just to confirm, and 47%, roughly, and who knows if it's exactly that amount, because I think this is from last year, but 47% of the kids that live in Cleveland, in the city of Cleveland, are living in poverty. And I just can't wrap my head around that we're a state and that we're a country that is giving unclaimed money to a billionaire while half the kids that live in the city of Cleveland don't have proper food to eat. And I know this is not the whole thing is not all Jimmy Haslam's fault, not the city of Cleveland. It's a bigger thing, and it's never going to get settled, and people are going to think, you're just saying that because you're being woke or you're whatever you are. I don't know, whatever people say. How can anybody wrap their head around half the kids in Cleveland can't afford to eat? Their parents can't afford to feed them potentially. That they're probably, if they are, those kids, when they are eating, are probably eating horrible foods for them, getting them sicker and creating this cycle of awfulness. And the billionaires getting money from the state, getting money from not from the county, but I know it's better that the city and the team settled, and I get from that perspective, I get it, and there's no easy solution, and I'm spitting in the wind with my comments, and I know that I guess has nothing to do with sports, but it just bothers me so much that in the richest country in the world, we have people living on the streets. And what am I doing? I'm not taking a homeless guy into my house. I'm not doing that. But you know what? Somebody said to me yesterday, would you pay more? What if it meant you had to pay more taxes? And I'll tell you this, and it's easy for me to say this because I'm not doing it because whatever. And I think most people would feel this way. If I knew for sure that me paying higher taxes would mean kids wouldn't be going to bed hungry and people wouldn't be living on the street, then I'd be happy to pay more. All right? But until we stop fighting each other and make the top 1% pay what they should be paying, nothing's ever going to change. We'll just keep fighting each other for the scraps, and it's a shame.
You got to get it lined up. So what I'm gonna say this is, first of all, can you put that picture back up, man? Can you put that picture up?
You want the graphic with all the?
Yeah, with the Haslams and
the breakdown.
Yeah, the breakdown. You break down. Let me see how much.
Yeah, it's coming up 1 sec.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
That ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem. No problem. Yeah. So this is what I like to say. Shout out to Mayor Bibb. He realized, first and foremost, you can't fight the system. You can't find the machine. What you're going to have to do is get correlated. You're going to have to get lined up. First of all, look, D Haslam in here. That's a hood picture. D Haslam got a side joint.
Yeah. She's
stoically looking like she looked like. Listen. My grandma used to watch The Young and the Restless. That's a Miss Chancellor look right there. That's like I'm bossed up. I like that picture. And listen. You know what that look is? That look is, yeah, you just made me pay to get out that deal. It's going to cost you a little something. That's what I like to see, Mayor Bibb. How much money did they give you? You need to take that bag.
100 mil.
You need to take that bag, and if you're going to let them out, I like the game that you played. Understand that it was going to happen. We told you that from get-go.
Oh, yeah.
But what can you do to get that bag to give back to what you're going to do? So you got the $100 million. Guess what? You figure out what you're going to do with that money. Now you can reinvigorate and get yourself together on that lakefront. They understand. They're business people. Let's be business-minded about it. You know, Mayor Bibb, he knew what was going to happen. He knew when they signed up. The county should be worried about getting some more of that money. If they got $600 million to build the stadium, that means they got it, right? You got to pay. Listen, it's all about business. You got to pay me to get up out of this, Tyvis. Let me see 100 real quick. I need that money back, right? Like, this is what you're supposed to do. It was going to happen. At the end of the day, by the way, the dome is good for business. Just be honest with yourself.
Well,
the dome is good for
who?
For what business you
for
talking
Jimmy.
about?
No.
Not the people down, not the business downtown.
What I'm saying is, when you talking about the dome and the stimulus, bro, you got to think about it like this. They done got more money to renovate the airport now. They got the money from the federal government. Now they get money for the airport. Now, if you want a Super Bowl, a Final Four, guess what? You're going to have to build hotels. Who going to build them hotels?
Yeah.
Who going to work in them hotels?
But the truth is, G, like studies have shown that new stadiums don't help the community, don't help the average Joe. It helps the rich people. That's all it helps.
Here's what you're going to understand. This ain't set up. Capitalism is not set up to fund and help poor people.
Yeah.
It has never been that. That is why I fight so hard. When people be holding out for contracts, get all you can get. When you say NIL, you better get every dime you can get. Mm-hmm. That is why you see the way I talk. They say, G-Boss says we need to limit this. No. Don't be limiting my little funds and the people that can potentially help the people that come from disenfranchised areas, but you getting billions. I ain't going to scoff at that because I'm going to worry about what we doing on that ground level, Tyvis.
So let me get this right. So who had them? Who put the dome on pause? Was it ODOT? Who did that?
ODOT, yeah.
So this takes that away.
Well, I think that had already been fixed, hadn't it?
Yeah, it's already been settled, Ty.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So all right. So when did that happen? Because I thought that was
quietly.
It sure did. Because it was a big announcement. Dome postponed, and then everybody ever said that they got it
somebody
clear.
got their pocket greased.
Oh
probably.
yeah, I mean,
them skids greased.
It's costing him a lot to build this dome.
Cost of business.
So public funded. How much is he getting for this? 600.
It's $650 million.
But he's pledging how much back?
I thought it's 300 public, 600 private is what I thought.
What do you mean? The thing's costing more than that.
I'm about to say way more than that.
I thought it cost about $1 billion.
That's what Darryl Street
I thought
said.
it cost $2.
About $1 billion plus.
No, but he's paying for the other half. I'm saying in the half that he's getting from.
Okay, so you saying he getting $300 million public funding and $600 from a private thing, and so he's splitting the rest of it?
I don't.
And you can read this right now instead of talking to me.
According to a quick Google search, that the state of Ohio is giving $600 million from the unclaimed funds, and then Brook Park is projected $300 million from site-generated taxes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they're
getting almost $1 billion.
The total cost of the stadium too is estimated at $2.4 billion.
Yeah.
So he's paying about 1.5.
1 point, yeah, whatever. And they're going to pay the overflow if it's
And
when the
he
price
and he's doing what? He's just giving $100 million back
to the city.
That's it.
Yeah.
So roughly, so $800 million is what technically the city's giving.
Not the city.
Well,
He's getting $800 million between the state, well, the city of Brook Park from new taxes apparently, and a lot of that from the state. So there's all this money supposedly.
Why did I think he was giving like $300 million? I feel like Jason told me he was giving like $300 million or something.
No. He's giving $100 million to the city of Cleveland.
You're just wrong on that.
And I love when people are like, but he's paying for most of it. It's his stadium.
And he can't.
If I build that,
So-
I renovated my house recently, right? I renovated my house. And I had to pay 100%, right? I'm not going to lie. I had to take out a loan to pay for some of my house, my renovation. Not uncommon. You take a loan. You're spending a lot of money. No, if I said, you know what, guys, I'm only going to pay 60%. How about you, the taxpayers, pay the 40% of my home renovation? People would be like, what are you, crazy?
Are you a business owner?
I am not.
Okay. I'll tell you how to get. Never mind. And don't you come after me.
And so, and he gets 100% of the proceeds from everything.
Profits, yeah.
Of course.
It's his site.
That
Yes.
boy,
Yeah. And I'm sure he's getting tax breaks and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, we just now figuring this out?
That boy hustles.
This is what
Ty,
we
yeah,
do.
seriously, you
Nah,
just put
I
two
mean,
and two
I
together, Ty?
knew that, but like I figured once you started adding, public dollars to all that, like maybe they get a percentage of it. But if he gets 100% of it all,
the city and the
That
state
boy
should be getting
finessing.
tax revenue. We'll be getting tax revenue. How much Jimmy will pay after his write-offs and all these things that billionaires do, who the hell knows? But that's the deal, right? So
he finessed the system.
Think about this, Tyvis. Jimmy Haslam's owned the Browns for what? 12
years.
12 years? Okay. 12 years ago, he paid, I believe, $1 billion for the Browns.
Yes.
The team is now valued, like if he tried to sell it right now, it's $6 billion. So for the last decade, 12 years, the Browns have won how many playoff games, guys?
One.
One playoff game. They have the worst record in the league during that time. You could very strongly argue Jimmy Haslam's been the worst owner in professional sports for the last 12 years. Easily argue that. Ticket prices have gone up, and the team is horrible. It's not even a big market comparatively to other places, and yet the team is now valued 6 times more than what he paid for it when he's done nothing to increase that value.
So let me just give you this. When people, like a couple years when I got in the game, they always told you, do not talk politics. Politics and sports do not coincide. They lied to you. Obviously it is, because people in Brook Park are paying higher taxes. I think that's a political nature. By the way, if everyone's just waking up today, just go ahead and give it to you. Wealth in the U.S. is highly concentrated. The top 10% of families hold about 70% of the nation's wealth, while the bottom 50% hold only 3%. The disparity has only increased after COVID, heading into the last recession. This is his brother was a governor. The Haslams are rich. The Gilberts are insanely rich, and even the Dolans, even though the Dolans in Cleveland say they ain't got it, the other Dolan in New York got it.
Yeah, he does.
So it's not just one or two people, it's the family and the distribution and the passing of wealth. So if you are in these infrastructures and those families, you get it. What you got to do, and what Mayor Bibb did is, look, he was going to get that stadium regardless.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
all about figuring out what you can do. And I've always told the city is not off the hook. If they want it, if you build it, they will come. That shoreline should have been redeveloped and reinvigorated, just like the major cities in Chicago. Major cities, it's lakefront prime real estate.
Yeah,
do something with it. Hopefully this tells them, don't wait on a billionaire, because they're going to capitalize what they need to do. You need to do what you need to do for your constituents.
That's a good way to end it. All right, Mike, let's get to some
Let's get to
Football
some real Browns nitty-gritty, guys. This next topic is brought to us by Built. Nobody likes paying rent, but if you must, you might as well get something for it. That's where Built comes in. Built is changing the game by turning your rent payments into real rewards you can actually use. When you pay rent through Built, you earn flexible points that can be redeemed toward hundreds of hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, or your next Lyft ride. But Built isn't just about rent. It's about rewarding you around your entire neighborhood. Turn your rent into rewards and start earning points around your neighborhood by going to joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNFL. That is joinbilt.com/LockedOn. Make sure to use that link so you know we sent you. All right, guys. Kevin Stefanski said yesterday he would not, and at least for the time being, will not give up play calling duties. Tyvis, you were not here yesterday, so I'll start with you on this one. But the Browns offense once again failed to score 17 points. They did not crack double digits in the game against Pittsburgh. Do you think Kevin should give up play calling duties to focus on other facets of being a head coach? Or do you think because of the talent on the offensive side of the football, the play caller is essentially irrelevant to the outcome?
Well, definitely the latter. I think it is irrelevant. It's nice to see that. It's funny because last year things go south and he gave up play calling easily. This year things go south. He keeps it. So it just tells you what he thought about the quarterback last year. But that's a whole nother story for another day. I think it's irrelevant who's calling the plays right now. I think that, the offensive line is just that bad, and those playmakers is just that bad as well. And this is something that they both built together. I mean, honestly, I had a lot of optimism going into this season, but to see it in real time, it's worse than I thought. But it was like, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, they did nothing to address the problem. The problem last year, the defense may have taken a step back, but they hadn't completely fallen off to where the offense completely fell off last year, and they did nothing to address it. Yeah, they got Quinshon in here. Shout out to Q. Go Bucks, man. Do your thing. Outside of that, though, they ain't really doing anything else. And in real time, how did you think in this game, if you ain't got the players on the outside to make plays, or if you ain't got a line, like if you ain't got an offensive line, like since the beginning of time, if you ain't had an offensive line, you had nothing going on, and that's what we witnessing right now. And it's crazy because we sat here and grilled him about pushing the ball down the field. Like, he don't got time. I watched this play yesterday on Twitter. I can't remember who posted it, but they came out, they had 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 running back, right? So what's that, 12 personnel? Yeah, 12 personnel. And both tight ends was blocking. The only 2 people on the route was Judy ran over and the other guy ran the post. Do you know by the time Dillon Gabriel went through play action and tried to throw that ball, he was getting sacked?
I posted that time.
It's crazy that this is going on. So, like, at this point, I don't understand. I do understand why you threw it 52 times, but I don't understand why you started the game off throwing the ball. You should have stuck with running the ball because at least, the interior offensive line, even though they struggling, that's your best bet is to run the football. And I think that you kind of conceded defeat in that. But again, like, if you play football one-on-one, if the box is stacked, okay, you got 8 people in the box, that tells you have to throw the ball because that means that's one-on-one on outside coverage. You can't even get the ball off. Like, this it's sad. It's really sad to watch in real time, man. Like I say, it doesn't matter what they call, they just don't have it. And it is what it is. Like, I don't know what you can do unless you can find you some tackles right now, which you thought you did when you traded for the ones that you got. They just ain't really hitting either. You better run some screens. You got to go back to that screen game. When we first got here, your screen game was elite. Me and G. Bush used to commend it all the time. Boy, y'all used to throw some good screens. And
set it up different ways.
Even against Minnesota, y'all brought the tight end screen back. You faked it here, faked it there, and threw it to Njoku. You need to bring something like that back because, boy, Dillon Gabriel, the only thing I knew from him that I thought was positive from him is that boy can take a hit.
Makes the screen game great again.
I mean,
it's sick. They put 8 people. So Tomlin basically said, I know you want to run the ball. The best thing you can do is run the ball. So we're going to absolutely load the box and dare you to throw the ball. And them pass rushers got there so fast, it don't make no sense. They might as well the tackle should slap the DNs on the butt. It might pull them up because they might be like, oh, what was that? They might buy Dillon just one more second to get the ball off because what they doing right now is unbelievable. They need to go file a police report because they is taking their souls in that dang tackle spot. It's unbelievable. It's a shame. It really is.
They tried to sneak this past us. Y'all tried to. Listen, G-Bush sat up here for weeks and months. I've been on the show for a long time. And I try to tell you, you thought you was going to sneak a tank in. And I said, we were not going to, under no circumstances. I called you on your gentleman's punt. You gentlemen's punting on a whole year because you refuse to get any defensive lineman. Just 1 year.
Offensive line.
No, this is
you talking about the defensive tackle year?
The defensive tackle year.
Oh, I went up. I told them before the season started that they defensive tackles was trash.
So I could give you multiple times when this organization has tried to build something up, and it's crazy. It's like we trying to get mad, and for all the people that say, well, what did you think? They told you they weren't trying to win. That's not an excuse, nor intellectually a solvent argument.
You know what the problem with people say that? Is that we're not losers. So
why would you?
I don't care what it looked like. I'm trying to find a way to win the entire. And I thought that would be the same thing over there, but it's
not.
And so why are they there? That's the problem. That's the part that I don't understand.
My thing is, deep in my heart, I'm trying to figure out, Tyvis, why would you even have a second thought in terms of figuring it out? Because they just got rid of Callahan the other day,
Sure
right?
did.
And he drafted a #1 quarterback overall.
Mm-hmm. You know what, they said they didn't see any growth. There wasn't any growth with him.
Well, I didn't see no growth with none of the ones we got. I saw regression every time they got in the game. And people get mad. See, sometimes when you lose a lot and you trying to hold on to stuff, you see people always talking about it. Man, listen, if you're going to get rid of something, get rid of it. You got to go scorched earth. Listen, it got so bad. Listen, I didn't got divorced before. Listen, if any outfit I had that I had while I was married, it got to go. Salvation Army, come get it, burned. It got to go. I need all new. I don't want no reminders of what's going on. No nasty taste in my mouth. If you gonna go to the doctor and you've been putting bad stuff in your system, you've been eating whatever you want, and because you ain't had no problems with it, you think you good. You go to the hospital, you say, man, you got a whole blockage in your arteries. And then you look at the doctor and say, what? Why is that? He's like, well, you understood you was eating bad, right? Yes. You understood you weren't working out, right? Yes. So why are you getting mad and surprised and trying to get me to give you some medicine? Ain't no medicine for that. It's called open heart surgery. And we at open heart surgery time. And now people trying to say, well, can you just give us a pill, doctor? No, you didn't do what you needed to. You have no linemen. You have no receivers. You have no creativity in your play calling. And now you don't have the draft picks that you need because you missed on a bunch of stuff. And now you're trying to say, well, at least if we could keep the coach around and make us feel good about being losers, at least we can say continuity. Continuity is for people that ain't never done nothing, ain't never won nothing, and is comfortable with losing, period, point blank.
I will say this, and I'll continue, this is just what it is. Like, they made what's going down as the worst trade in the history of the game, right? Nobody got fired for that.
At all.
Nobody.
That's right.
And then you go back, so I was thinking about what's some terrible trades that happened. San Francisco traded to get Trey Lance. You know what saved them from getting fired? Brock Purdy got drafted in that same draft.
And
he
developed.
just so happened to work out for him. The next thing I thought about was Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos.
What they do?
I think they got fired. They got fired because they knew Coach Sean Payton.
And then he went and drafted
And
Bo
Sean
Nix.
Payton said, we
out of here.
Get him out of here.
Take that hit bull and give me Bo Nix.
But I want to say when they made that trade, was John Elway the GM?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the GM anymore.
He's still involved.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's-
quite sure to what capacity.
Yes. So like people they got to pay for. Somebody got to pay for this. And,
Or make up for it.
how you gonna do that?
Find a quarterback.
Well, they could have got Jackson Dart, but I'm gonna still give him the benefit of the doubt. We don't know exactly what he's gonna be right now, and Cam Ward obviously is struggling in Tennessee. So right now, I ain't gonna even bring that up right now. But at the end of the, you really want him to be back there right now?
It's looking shaky.
You know what? It was crazy because I was
looking shaky.
Listen, I was thinking about this. I was like, you know how Kevin keeps saying, I'm trying to do what's best for the young players and their development. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't push Shedeur back there either. He trying to save his life. That's what he doing.
By the way,
put him behind this line, he gonna die.
Yeah, you'd have to have any success with this offensive roster. You'd have to be an elite quarterback, and we don't have one on the roster, at least not yet. By the way, do you remember in 2023 when the Browns late in the season, Browns got their 11? How many games did they win the regular season that year? 11.
I think 11.
Their last win was against the Jets. Remember Trevor Siemian was playing for the Jets? Mm-hmm. And the Browns scored like 40 in that game. Do you guys remember that?
I remember. I was
late in the season.
No. They did not score 40. They scored like some points in the first half. They didn't score none in the second half. You can talk about Thursday night game with Joe Flacco?
Was it Thursday night?
Yeah, I think it was.
The 2023 playoff clincher was a Thursday night game. Yes.
Thursday night.
Okay, that Thursday. So what did they score in that game? They scored 3 touchdowns, didn't they?
He went
The final score was 37-20. Yeah, Thursday night game. Do you know that since that game, when Kevin Stefanski's been the play caller, the Browns have not scored more than 18 points in a single game since then?
Shout out to Cleve TA for pointing that out.
I did not get that from him, but that's a good one.
Yeah, he tweeted that. He's been updated every week.
Oh,
it's been X weeks since Kevin Stefanski.
I didn't see that, but I was just thinking about it because I was like, the Browns have only scored a couple of times, and that was with Jameis. So I was like, how far back does that go? So in games that Kevin Stefanski's been the play caller since that win to clinch the playoffs against the Jets Thursday night, including the playoff game, the Browns have gone 2-15. No, 2-13, and have not scored more than 18 points.
But why do your brethren? Why do your brother? Let me help me understand this.
Who is his brother?
His brethren, like, because I've been on this Kevin Stefanski train for how many years?
Yeah,
I've been on a long time. So now it's full of people. And it's packed. It's a party. We giving out the Rotel.
It's hard to find somebody.
It's hard to find somebody.
That's why should stay.
Why have people been bamboozled and the wool pulling up their eyes and make it think like he was doing something?
Because I think it was reasonable, and on some level it is still reasonable to believe that under these circumstances, it would be hard for almost any coach to have more success. Because ownership is terrible, front office is terrible. They don't have a lot of talent. Do you think the Browns have a winning record with any coach right now? Now maybe I think they have more than one win with other coaches.
Yes.
But do you think they have a winning record with this exact roster and any other coach? I don't think so.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, Bull.
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry made every single decision that got them the roster they have today.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's the case, and I think it is, then
not everyone.
Yeah. You asked me for a reason. I'm giving you a reason.
Okay.
I no longer. I do think, without a doubt, that Kevin Stefanski and pretty much every coach that the Browns have had since Jimmy Haslam is hamstrung by the owner. But the Browns are not the only team where the coaches are hamstrung by the owner. The Bengals coaches are hamstrung by the owner in a different way than Jimmy Haslam, but they're hamstrung. It's better to work for, if you're a coach, it's better to work for the Steelers than it is for the Bengals or the Browns. But it's just obvious. The owner is not an impediment to success.
Right.
And so there's things to overcome. So I can understand why some people are like, and the constant firing of coaches never did the Browns any good. So I understand why Kevin Stefanski, and here's part of it too, is that Browns fans, the team's been so bad for so long that Kevin Stefanski's mediocrity seems better than it is. I think that's a part of it too.
Yeah.
When every other coach you feel like is total zero, and you're like, well, this guy's not great, but at least we got to the playoffs with him. You're like, well, can we expect more than that? Well, you should, But I think some people are like, well, I don't. We've had terrible coaches. This guy's mediocre, but that's better than terrible, so we might as well stick with it.
Tyvis.
I think there's some truth. I don't agree with that, but I think some people feel that way.
We're going to do therapy today. Tyvis, that was great, Bull. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Sorry, Mike. We've gone away from your question here. We'll get back.
No, it's all good. It all ties back into the same thing.
I want to know, you've been in a lot of locker rooms. What is the perception of the Cleveland Browns from player standpoint? Because I think that you've played
historically.
No. I'm historically in real time.
Both.
I think that.
So you asking me what did other players around the league think of the Browns?
Yes.
You know what they thought.
I have to hear it from you. I didn't play. I didn't know. I don't know these people. I need to see. Now this is the difference between Tyvis, the former player, and Tyvis, the analyst. Let me go ahead and put that disclaimer out there. There you go.
Are people actively like making fun of the Browns in other locker rooms? Does that happen?
Let's just always give the story of the fact that when I was in Seattle.
Yeah.
I would always, because I was from Cleveland, so I always talked about the Browns in the locker room.
Yeah.
And multiple players would say that if they were ever traded to the Browns, they would fake an injury because the trade would then get voided because there was no way that they would go to Cleveland.
Was that? I mean, would they say that about other teams too, or just, you don't know?
No, that was just me talking about the Browns at that point. I don't know about if they felt that way.
Like, do you think they would have felt that way about Cincinnati?
I'm not
or
sure.
The other band.
I never asked. I never asked.
I'm just curious.
I just know that that's what they said, and they said
speculation.
They told me that the only time that the Browns will go to the Super Bowl is when they go to the bathroom. Whew. Those are exact quotes.
But I wonder what it like. I wonder how do the players think it's the owner? Do the players think it's something about Cleveland? Is that a knock at the city? Or something about just like the players believe in curses and they think the franchise is cursed?
I'm not 100% sure.
I'd love to dive
but you got to
into that.
remember, when I was in Seattle, that was during 1-31.
Right, it was the bottom of the barrel.
2016, so that's
this is not much better.
16,
and so they tried.
No, 1-15.
I mean, the Browns are. I know it's not as bad as that record-wise, but.
No,
you're now 4-19 the last 2 years.
Go ask. Listen.
You know what Brian Callahan was with Tennessee? 4-19. That they fired him.
So here's the thing. I give you the synopsis of what Bulls thinks from a media standpoint. I give you a synopsis based on what Tyvis is saying with players, and I'm just sitting here delivering it up to you. The reality of this situation is until you get somebody that is not going to deal with the woe is me, it's a bad situation. That is not how you are a leader. A leader doesn't say, you know what a leader does? There's a lot of things that I don't like that come from the top or any organization. I work for a lot of them. But you know what? I refuse to take L's. I'm going to man up. I'm going to get it done and figure a way out. At the end of the day, Kevin Stefanski is the leader of the organization. And let me give you this. If Kevin Stefanski did not believe he was put up in the best situation, his contract just came up, right? Mm-hmm. If he was confident in who he was, and everybody said he's going to get a job tomorrow.
That's right.
He should have went to the office and said, listen, let me tell you something. I got 2 coaches of the year. This is the way I want to run it, Jimmy. If you don't want to see eye to eye with me, what I'm going to do is part ways. You know who did that? Shanahan did that. That's
when Stefanski, because we talked about that, and I brought that up to Jason. That's when he really started to lose me. Is that he had all the power.
He had all the
power, and he didn't use it. And the Browns need. I think as bad as Jimmy is, I think there is a coach out there who, for sure, I don't know, but I think there's a coach out there that can win here. As crazy as that sounds, and I don't think Kevin Stefanski is it. And you need a coach that is going to push the owner, in my opinion,
just as much as
and
he
push the players.
And you got to say, look.
You know what I think, though? Again, one thing that's never, ever been reported was his contract, his extension. Never. We never got an answer. It was not public record. We don't know what it was. So similarly to Myles Garrett, you add another 0 on there, the loser don't seem that bad.
Again, you see what I'm saying? If I was about that life, because I know a dude who did that. It was here. it was an example. Shanahan was an offensive coordinator, and yes, those jobs are very difficult to come by.
Yeah.
And rather than sign back up for that nonsense, he did a PowerPoint that said, here's why I would never play and coach in your organization. I'll take my ball and go somewhere else and do something else. And it worked out pretty well for him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the whole narrative that, oh my gosh, Kevin is a little puppy in the corner getting beat up.
That's the law.
Stop.
No, I agree with that.
Stop.
I agree with that. And I think, I've been saying Brian Flores, and I'm not sure Brian Flores is definitely the right guy, but I think you need a hard ass. And I think we're kind of learning that maybe Tua was a bigger part of the problem than Flores in Miami. Flores got a lot of crap for how he handled Tua, and maybe he didn't handle it perfectly. But Tua's calling team meetings and guys are not showing up. If your quarterback's calling a team meeting and the players are not coming or coming late,
That's an issue.
See,
That's
they're going to get Mike McDaniel fired for sure.
Hey, McNuggets called a meeting after the show. Nah, I'm straight, dog.
Guys, the Cleveland Browns, forget the Jimmy part of it. The Browns players need a coach that's going to, pardon my French, get in their ass. They need it.
Yeah. Pause, but yeah.
They need that.
I see what you say.
Brian Flores, he don't mess around.
They call him Flo in the industry.
He is a mean SOB, and that's what they need,
Well,
I
Bull,
think.
that kind of leads us right into where I wanted to go next anyway. So if you allow me to do a read,
Please.
it's gonna get us right into what you're referring to. But guys, our next topic is brought to us by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers can bet just $5 and they get $300 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. You heard me right. Place a $5 bet as a new customer. If it wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started. So yesterday at the end of the show, we played you that quote from Mike Tomlin where he directly called out Andrew Berry. He was asked a question about the Joe Flacco trade. If you missed it, it's 360, Steve. Here's what Mike Tomlin had to say.
Yeah.
To be honest, it was shocking to me. Andrew Berry must be a lot smarter than me or us. Because it doesn't make sense to me to trade a quarterback that you think enough of to make your opening day starter to a division opponent that's hurting in that area. But that's just my personal feelings.
Mike, before we go back, do we have Tyvis react to that? Because he didn't get a chance.
I will give him 1 sec.
Yeah.
And Kevin Stefanski was asked about that quote.
I heard it, yeah.
This is what Kevin Stefanski said in response to what Mike Tomlin said. And I quote, "I don't have a comment on that." End quote. Tyvis, you weren't here yesterday, so what do you think about Tomlin calling out Andrew Berry? And then 2, Bull, you talked about you want a coach that's going to inspire, light guys up, have a little fire. Yeah. Do you think, knowing how Jimmy Haslam acted and has acted in the past and who said this specific comment, we'll get a response now from the Browns?
I honestly, when I seen it, I laughed because it's so funny that everybody always says the same thing about Kevin and AB. It's, they think they're the smartest people in the room. And so clearly he was taking that shot at him, and it was funny just to see that. But I just thought it was kind of funny that Kevin didn't – that's his boy. That's like somebody coming up to me and saying something crazy about G. Bush, and I'm like, you think I ain't going to say nothing? Hey, chill out. What you talking about? It's one of those type things.
Or he is kind of crazy. He be doing too much.
But, that's crazy that – see, this just feeds the narrative of that. This is exactly what you're talking about. You're talking about that you need somebody that'll go at somebody that's all that. And Kevin just comes off as passive. And
he comes off like a wimp.
Don't get me. So this is the thing. I don't know Kevin. I've never been in the locker room with Kevin, so I understand why it comes off that way. And it might be what it is. The only way you can figure those type of things out is this. This is how you know if players should have a fear of their coach. I feel like. Why? Because, for example, we've been talking about pre-snap penalties for years.
Right.
If they feared their coach and he made an emphasis to get rid of pre-snap penalties, they would at least go down a little bit.
Tell him that Urban Meyer, he talked to you for how many years, Tyvis?
Urban ain't talked to me for a whole year.
Doesn't it have to be a balance, though? You don't want,
even when I said hi, he didn't say nothing.
Don't you want to have some fear? Not 100% fear, right?
No. You need a healthy fear.
See, when you go into a new place, you got to lay the law down.
Yeah.
Because if you go in there and be buddy, see, people think they can take advantage of that. It's like, this is my guy. I'm gonna try. He'll be cool if I do this. And that. No. You gotta I ain't gonna do it because I might be cut. Like that type of fear need to come up upon people when that's on rosters. But like Mike T, I don't think he got that going on. Like if he make an emphasis or something, I think that
they still hit on Friday, Bull. They still got pads on Friday, my G.
Yeah.
They hit on Friday.
They got pads on Fridays,
Man,
and when you
I don't even think you could do. You only get 12 pads.
and when you're a free agent and you pull up and you know what you're signing up for. It's different. There's a reason why they was putting them pads on them.
You better get your mind right.
Also, like Mike Tomlin cannot wrap his head around
Ever.
winning not being the priority.
No matter who you got.
Because he's been there 2 decades. It's never not been the priority. It's always the priority to win in Pittsburgh.
See, the problem is we've had this thing where let's just be terrible for 2
Yes,
years.
it's happened
and
so many
rebuild.
times.
And right now we living in that because at the end of the day, you can't do nothing until Deshaun's off the books. Like that's just what it is.
Wait, but you know what? I don't completely buy that.
Why
Tyvis,
don't
and here's
you?
why. Obviously, it's a big factor.
You can't do nothing.
But you know what?
What can you do?
The Russell Wilson contract was terrible for Denver,
And they paid him.
and they were a playoff team last year.
Sure was.
Are they? Is he still on the books?
Yes.
This is the last year.
they-
Day cap comes off after
Well, they
this
must
year.
have hit. They hit on Bo Nix.
There you
Obviously, it
go.
makes it
They hit on
challenging.
Bo Nix.
Well, let me ask you this, Tyvis.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they hit on Bo Nix. They already had Cortland Sutton, and they just got the running back situation. So like it wasn't terrible.
It was nasty work. You
mean,
got a rookie quarterback.
when they
They
traded,
gave us Judy.
we had Nick Chubb.
Fleeced
Tyvis.
us. Fleeced us.
We had Nick Chubb.
What we give up for Judy?
A 5th and a 6th.
Oh, okay. Now we
had Nick Chubb. Right now we got Quinshon Judkins. Like I get it. The Browns don't have a lot of talent on the offense.
Let me stop you.
But the Broncos didn't have that. Who did the Broncos have at running back? They had nobody.
Let me stop.
Yeah.
Let me
They
stop.
got, whoa. They got J.K. Dobbins.
Well, now they do. They didn't at the time. When
No, they
got
had
rid of Russell.
They had Javonte Williams, who
But he was
always hurt.
terrible there. He's been great in Dallas.
He's second
so
in the
far.
league in rushing right now.
I agree, but he was terrible in Denver after he got hurt.
So this is why you can't look at stuff in a vacuum. Don't look at it. You got to look at the totality. This is 6 years. Let me tell you what Kevin Stefanski had. Let me tell you what he had. Prime Wyatt Teller. Prime Joe Batonio. Prime, what's the center's name?
Poach it.
Before him too. Treader, J.C. Treader.
Oh yeah, forgot
Alex
about
Mack?
JC. Yeah.
Alex Mack.
Well, that was
before.
Kevin Stefanski didn't
He
have
didn't have him, but he had them three.
Yeah.
He had prime Nick Chubb, prime Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham Jr.
Not prime Odell.
But it was Odell.
They had.
Jarvis
he left
Landry.
here and was about to win MVP of the Super Bowl.
Jarvis Landry.
who was prime in the beginning of the
Yes.
time here.
Miles Garrett.
Prime.
Denzel Ward.
Prime.
What are we talking about?
J.O.K.
J.O.K.
J.O.K. This man in 1 year had, listen, Dearness Johnson was nice. He had ball players, and guess what? His offense wasn't even crazy back then. We were still arguing about the same things we do today. Nick Chubb got 110 yards on 12 carries, and you get to the goal line and you don't give him the ball. He's still doing that with Quinshon Judkins. He's still doing. It's different players, same results. I need to refute. Please put
And
it.
by the way, like to say that you can't survive. You see, to be able to make it even with this terrible contract, if you were drafted better in the last few years, they wouldn't be so bad. You could. What if you had
Tristan Wirfs.
What if you had Tristan Wirfs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we'll see about Jackson Dart, but I'll say Jackson Dart. Feeling a lot differently about this team
Feeling
right
a
now.
bunch different, right?
Yeah.
If you just don't swing and miss on 85 defensive tackles before you get to Mason Graham, maybe you'll be okay.
You drafted an offensive lineman in the second round. The Browns have the worst offensive line in the league.
Ooh.
Your boy Zach Zinner.
Third round.
Third round.
Can't
Your
even
boy
dress.
can't even be active on game day.
Ain't that sad?
Where's the dude?
And they have the worst offensive line in
Tevin
the league.
Jenkins.
He finally played this
He
week.
finally played.
Finally played. They put him at tackle.
And you keep by again. He was a swing guy.
Yeah.
The thing about this is, it's not if you do it 1 year, you can squint and say, oh, this year it was the Deshaun thing. Okay, cool. Oh, it was the offensive line was hurt. Okay, cool. It was the fact that we've been rotating quarterbacks up. Okay, cool. But if you look at the totality of it, it's not a good job overall. And if he was better at doing his regular job, like the other Kevin O'Connell lost. He moved on from Sam Darnold.
Who had his best season of his career.
In his life. Then they didn't sign him. They brought J.J. McCarthy back in. He get hurt again. So now you got to give me Carson Wentz.
Made him look serviceable.
Aaron Jones is they starting running back. He's out. Give me another dude, and I'm going to figure out on the run. And he's still figuring it out. And you talking about what Kevin ain't got, and the quarterback is in 20. Come on,
don't forget the Vikings that were down 4 offensive linemen last week.
4 offensive linemen. Come on.
Gee, real quick, just to bring this back to where we started. Tyvis said if someone said something about you, he wouldn't respond, no comment. Knowing how Jimmy acts in certain situations, knowing how much Jimmy respects Mike Tomlin, if you were in Kevin Stefanski's shoes, would you have fired back in some capacity? Or
No.
at least responded, or did he take the high road and the right road?
No, because he got smacked with the burner on Sunday. He got beat up.
Yeah.
His team got mollywopped. His time to fight back, or first of all, he shouldn't need Mike Tomlin to say anything to have a level of vitriol against the Steelers because it's the Steelers.
Yeah.
He shouldn't need that work. His work and how he talk is how your team play on the field. And another Cleveland Browns team went into Pittsburgh and got physically manhandled, dominated, and a bunch of people's in the training room. So what is he going to say? He can't say nothing to Mike Tomlin. You shut your mouth. Don't you say anything about us. He was like, we saw you last week. You didn't do nothing about it.
The conspiracy theory is that Tomlin was saying this to kind of help Kevin Stefanski, which I don't believe.
Stop, boo.
Well,
you shut that down.
think.
You shut that down.
I don't buy that.
Yeah, you shut that down,
And
too.
you know what? Even though it's kind of a no-win situation, if I was Kevin Stefanski, and Andrew Berry's my guy, and we're tight, and he's my pal, and we do this together, I would have said something, 100%. I know everybody would have made fun of him, and like, I don't know what you're going to say. I don't have the perfect words right now. All I know is if you crap on my friend, I'm going to have my friends back.
Hey, listen, I see people all the time. They be like, Bull is crazy. I'm like, yeah, he's
crazy.
He's my kind of crazy. We gotta, he's always welcome. Listen, everybody I be working. I got your back. I mess with you heavy. But the problem I got, McNuggets, is what does this say? You know this. In the coaching profession, McNuggets, what does it say? This is wild to me because it's 2 brothers too. It's Mike Tomlin, and you know how hard it is to get a job as a brother in the league. Mike Tomlin called out another person that one day might be in charge of whether Mike Tomlin get a job. He's a general manager. What if he becomes a general manager somewhere and Mike Tomlin get let go? They got a thing. You never talk bad about no other coach or GM on camera. That ain't what we doing. The fact that he was comfortable but was saying that, what does that say to you, McNuggets?
Let me ask you.
I just say I've never been more proud of myself or UG for you addressing me with that question when Tyvis is sitting right next to you.
Go ahead. I was just setting you up.
But that's the thing. Everybody around the league see what's going on, right? Would you hire Andrew Berry as your general manager?
No.
So this
He's not getting another GM.
If anything, he could handle finances or something, because
he might capologist.
He cool with the cap.
He gonna go to Sashi Brown, right?
We talk about
Right.
you want him to build your roster?
No, that's a fair point.
Are
Nobody's
you
hiring him.
serious?
He ain't getting another GM job.
Yeah, I don't like to do this black on black crowd, but my goodness,
He's out,
bro. Yeah, this is it.
All right, guys, we got Mary Kay in the queue. We're going to bring her on. A reminder, you got 13 minutes to send in Super Chats. 12:15 is the cutoff on Super Chats, so if you want to get a Super Chat in, make sure you send it in the next 13 minutes. Our interview with Mary Kay is brought to us by Built. Nobody likes paying rent, but if you must, you might as well get something for it. That's where Built comes in. Built is changing the game by turning your rent payments into real rewards you can use when you pay rent through Built. You can earn flexible points that can be redeemed toward hundreds of hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, or your next Lyft ride. But Built isn't just about rent. It's about rewarding you and your entire neighborhood. Turn your rent into rewards and start earning points around your neighborhood by going to joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNFL. That is joinbuilt.com/LockedOnNFL to make sure you use that link so they know we sent you guys. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome Mary Kay Cabot to the show. How you doing today, Mary Kay?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
We're doing well, Mary Kay. Thank you for joining us. Somebody was just asking me, so I'll bring it up to you. Even though the Titans' offensive line, to be fair, was a disaster, so it's not like Bill Callahan's a miracle worker. He can't fix everything. But his son gets fired. He left the Titans. Do you think the Browns would call him and try to get him back, at least as a consultant or something with the team? Or is that something that might happen in the offseason, but not right now?
I tweeted that the minute I saw that Brian was fired yesterday.
Yeah.
I tweeted that the Browns should go ahead and call him up and bring him in and make him a senior offensive consultant and or assistant or whatever the case may be. And I also wrote it in a story that I wrote that posted yesterday as well. So I absolutely think that he could help. He's amazing with red zone. He's amazing with blocking schemes and all of that. And they need all the help that they can get in those areas. So I would definitely do that. I don't know if they will do that or not. We haven't had a chance to talk to anybody yet about anything like that. It's Tuesday. Everybody's kind of off. Everybody's regrouping. But we will probably revisit that again tomorrow, or I'll try to dig around and see what I can find out.
Mary Kay, the world wants to know, the city of Cleveland wants to know, make the case of why Kevin should continue being the head coach for the Cleveland Browns. What is it? What's the good things? Because people right now see none. So what do you see that's like, all right, this is why he should remain the coach?
Well, one of the things that I see when I look out there right now is an offense that I think it would be very, very difficult for many NFL head coaches to be successful with. They have a rookie quarterback who just made his second NFL start in Pittsburgh against a very grizzled Steelers defense that was just going to want to tear his head off and pretty much try to do that on every single play. There are tackle problems. You lose your left tackle at the start of the season, and that's been an ongoing issue. Jack Conklin, he's been injured over there on the right side. So once again, they're starting the season with tackle issues, which was part of the problem at the beginning of last season. And then you look at the skill players, and it's just a world of hurt there too. There are all kinds of rookie players that are just really not ready. It was an unfair fight in Pittsburgh. They're not ready to go up against the likes of all of these guys that the Pittsburgh Steelers have on their defense. They were just overmatched. And then when you look at your veteran players, they're not coming through for the Browns right now in the way that they need to. So it's been a recipe for disaster, and it's not going the way that it should have gone by any stretch of the imagination. I've said this from early on in the offseason. If they were able to get good, clean quarterback play, they should have been able to win 7 games this year. 7, maybe 8 games, if they could have gotten good quarterback play. They haven't gotten that, and it's just kind of unraveled from there.
Okay, you said all of those things about the injuries and about the players and all of that. Andrew Berry, go. Andrew Berry.
Well, once again, the way that the season was supposed to play out, they were supposed to have Quinshawn from the start of the season. It didn't help them that they didn't, although he's definitely caught up from there. And then you move to the quarterback situation. The way that it was supposed to go is that Kenny Pickett was supposed to be one of those guys that you rescue him off the scrap heap. We don't know if it would have worked or not, but you're supposed to rescue Kenny off the scrap heap and throw him into the starting lineup for maybe the first half of the season to have him hold down the fort until your rookies were ready to go. And that plan just went down the tubes early on when Kenny suffered that hamstring injury. It pivoted everything then over to Joe Flacco, and Joe was not able to play that clean ball that we're talking about. He turned the ball over 8 times. That's why he's gone. That's why he was not going to start any more games for the Cleveland Browns this year, because he wasn't going to be able to play the clean football that they needed. So it just kind of went to heck in a handbasket based on sort of what happened with the quarterback situation. Again, I've said it many, many times. If you had taken a top 15 quarterback from anywhere, I don't know where you would have gotten that guy. If you would have taken a top 15 quarterback and plugged him into this offense, I think you could have won 7 or 8 games this year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I mean, yes, the offensive line is bad. We didn't know how bad. You could have been more competitive. I think the offensive line has gotten so bad that maybe you would have fallen short. But going into the season, if you would have said you have the 15th best quarterback in the league, I would have said the Browns could have made the playoffs. Now, I think in the end, the offensive line's too bad to overcome unless you had a superstar quarterback. But who knows? In the same vein with Andrew Berry, Mary Kay, obviously Mike Tomlin made those comments yesterday, which were surprising to us. He doesn't usually do that. What did you make of that whole thing?
Well, first of all, it seemed like Mike Tomlin was in a little tiny bit of a mood. And sometimes you step up to the podium and you're human and you're in some kind of a mood. When he walked off the podium, he said to the reporters, you guys annoyed me today. I don't know if you guys saw that clip or not, but I mean, that was funny, actually. But let's remember something about Mike Tomlin right now. He has a dog in this race, and Andrew Berry just made it harder for him by shipping Joe Flacco to the Bengals, right? I mean, they were pretty much almost stick a fork in him. They're dead. Joe Flacco went out and played pretty well for them against the Packers on Sunday. And I think Mike Tomlin would much rather be facing Jake Browning on Sunday than Joe Flacco, who, even though he's lost a step a little bit perhaps, I think that he would much rather face Jake Browning than Joe Flacco, who's got that big arm to be able to get that ball to Jamar Chase and Andre Yoshivash. So he's got a dog in this race. He doesn't want to have to face Joe Flacco. And now the Bengals, if they can kind of get it together and Joe gets acclimated, maybe they can make a little bit of a run in this messed up AFC North. So I kind of can see where he was coming from there.
You know, Mary Kay, I look at it, you know, Kevin Stefanski says he's not going to turn over the play calling, and I expected him to say that. But, I mean, is there any, is there any hope in him saying, look, hey, Tommy Rees, you got two quarterbacks that you're going to probably deal with, either Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. They both played in college. You have an extensive knowledge with the playbook. And sometimes with college playbooks, they're good at smoke and mirrors. They can run some different things to deviate and delineate some of the problems on the outside. Do you think what would need to take place for him to say, hey, Tommy, take over the play calling, and I'm going to just coach this thing out? Do you see that happening?
Well, I suppose it might happen. He considered doing it this week. Sometimes I think he doesn't do it when he knows the offense is such a mess that you would basically be throwing that next guy under the bus. And that might not be something that he would want to do to Tommy in his first year as offensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns. If the Browns had some really healthy tackles and an experienced quarterback and some experienced skill players and some veterans who weren't dropping the ball, then it might make sense to turn it over to Tommy Rees and for Kevin to oversee the whole process. And they might still decide to do that. But when it is already kind of, just a mess, I don't know if that's the time to turn it over to Tommy and throw him the hot potato and say, here, you do something with it. So I think Kevin is letting the buck stop with him right now. We'll see how it goes.
Mary Kay, Jack Conklin got hurt last week. David Njoku. What's the latest on them and anybody else that got banged up last week, as far as you know?
Well, we haven't heard anything. Someone mentioned to me yesterday that they don't think that David's knee injury is serious, but of course there's grades of serious and not serious. Does he have to miss a game? Does he have to miss 2 games? I don't know yet. Once again, everybody's kind of regrouping on a Tuesday, so I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to anybody about those injuries yet. I have checked into some of them, but no definitive word yet. David Njoku is instrumental, of course, in your blocking schemes and as well as your passing game. So they really can't afford to be without him. He's a very, very, very big part of the offense. And I thought some of the protection problems on Sunday had to do with the fact that he was in and out of the lineup and then finally, ultimately, out of the game in the fourth quarter. So, he's big for them in terms of chipping and picking up blitzes and all the kind of blocking stuff that he does, as well as being out on routes in the passing game. So they really need the Chief.
What did you think of Dillon Gabriel's performance, and what can they do to protect him so we can see more? Because 52 times, a lot of hits. What did you think?
Well, first of all, you were going against a very well-rested Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I mean, they had rested up for this, and they were probably licking their chops. A rookie quarterback, Mike Tomlin eats rookie quarterbacks for breakfast. He's now 27-6 against rookie quarterbacks. So even if you had a really good supporting cast and a healthy offensive line, it's going to be really tough to go into Pittsburgh in that hostile environment and try to win a football game. But they just went after him. They went after him, and then the other thing that they decided to do was completely take Quinshon out of the football game. If you do that, your rookie is not going to be supported very well. Still, having to pass it 52 times, that's a disaster. That's why I advocated heading into the weekend that they should let Bailey Zappi be the number 2. You could have thrown Bailey Zappi into that game and into the fourth quarter and let him try to navigate this of a game. But they couldn't do that with Shedeur. And I think that was a mistake. I think it was a mistake. They rushed Shedeur into being the number 2 in a game that he probably absolutely would have had no business being in right now. So didn't love that idea. But Dillon, he was under so much duress and he was under siege that I think it's hard to be precise in your passing game in those situations. But I have concerns about the red zone accuracy. There's just not enough good things going on in the red zone right now. And they have to take a really good, unflinching look at that and figure that out. If the problems that happened in the red zone were largely because he wasn't able to get the ball there on time or accurately enough, then they've got to think about what they're doing there. So it's a tough call. It's a tough call right now because they don't really have anybody else to go to try to help solve this problem.
Thanks. Go ahead.
Just really quickly, since Shedeur, you mentioned Shedeur being the backup quarterback number 2. What have you seen from Shedeur in his demeanor or his process since being named backup quarterback? And what do you think, is the difference, or have you seen a difference from him being a number 3 emergency quarterback to what you've seen in a couple of days of him being the backup?
I haven't really seen anything different per se, but what I do see every single day in practice when he is throwing routes on sort of the 2-spot field over there to most of his backup guys, what I do see and what I have seen from day one, and I tweeted this out the other day, and it just sent people into some kind of a tizzy over this, and all I was trying to say is, right? I said the backup quarterback has elite accuracy, and he does. That was, and is his superpower in this competition. And when I say superpower, I use that term lightly. Each one of these guys had a couple of strengths or one big strength in the 4-way competition, and Shedeur's is his accuracy. And so I made that point the other day because it's not something that you can necessarily teach, or if you can teach it, you can't teach it quickly. You can learn it over time and you can get more accurate, but he comes into the NFL with a nice, natural, and elite accuracy, and I think that will serve him well. But you have to have everything else too. You have to be able to know what you're looking at. You have to be able to read those defenses. You have to be able to get out of the way. You can't be retreating. So that's not going to get you where you need to go, but it is a nice trait to have, and that's the only point that I was trying to make there. And that's what I see. That's what I see in practice, and I have for a long time. I mean, if a guy can be in the end zone and he can be tightly covered, and Shedeur can fit the ball in there really, really well. And you guys will see that when he gets a chance to play. But he would have to be able to have the time to be able to do that. And I don't know if that exists right now.
Yeah, and I don't know if irrational conversations in any way about Shedeur Sanders exist either. It is not possible at the moment. Thanks, Mary Kay. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, now.
Sure. Thanks, guys.
Mary Kay, guys. The deadline for Super Chats has passed. We got over 30 in the first 75 minutes, so appreciate the Super Chats.
Y'all ready to go?
We will get them at the end of the show. We're going to bring on Sean King here next after a reminder that FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and right now new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if that first $5 bet wins. You heard me right. That is a $5 bet for new customers. If it wins, it turns into $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download the FanDuel app today and get started. And with that, we got Sean King smoking a cigar in the house. What's up, Sean?
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
What is this about? What is this about?
Let them know. They was talking about your front door the other day in your garage and where you at. Let them know where you at, big dog. The beard is looking real
He got it
moisturized.
moist. He got it moist today.
Hey, listen, if you notice, the name tag is not Sean King today. It's Nostradamus. I just came to gloat, so I'm smoking a victory cigar because y'all called me crazy. Jay Crawford cussed me out without cussing when I said this was a waste of time. And now my idea doesn't look so bad, does it? Think about if Shedeur Sanders was trotting out this week for his first start, and then they were going back to Dillon Gabriel. I'm just telling you, out of all the issues
rest of us were with you, Sean. Not just Jay was against it.
I don't know if you were with me, but You weren't against me as vehemently as Jay. And what is Jason? Is Jay suspended when I'm on now? Is he not allowed to come back when I'm on?
So Sean, the day you came on Wednesday, Jay works Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you happened to cross over on a Jay day. He will usually not be here. Listen, he may be ducking the smoke. I cannot confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
He's in the building. He just isn't on our show on Tuesdays.
All right, seriously, let's go back and revisit not my opinion, but why I said that was the right thing organizationally to do. I listened to about the last hour of your show, and you guys very eloquently stated all of the issues the Browns had. This year was an opportunity to eliminate one of those concerns or make it the number one priority in the offseason. And that's, do we have a franchise quarterback in the building? That's why I said from week one, they should have alternated starts with Dillon and Shedeur. One, it alleviates a lot of the pressure to have to be great immediately because you've laid out the plan for the entire season. And two, it gives both young men an equal opportunity to create a resume, at least in year one, so you can make a decision. Because listen, you can go and find some D tackles in free agency. I heard that as a concern. You can go and find some wide receivers in the draft. This is a good wide receiver draft. It's hard to go find your franchise quarterback. And to get through this entire season and not have enough data, live game data on Shedeur and Dillon to make a educated decision on if one of those young men can be the guy would be the most colossal mistake this organization has made. And I heard you guys spell out a lot of big mistakes that have been made.
Sean, there's still enough time, don't you think, at this point, or no?
Well, the difference between what I wanted to do and doing it now, even though I still would do it, is the energy around the organization is drastically different.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Right. Myles Garrett never has been emotionally beaten down as he is now. I was shocked at what he said. Absolutely shocked. Yeah. Because out of all the guys in the National Football League, that looks like the one blue collar, doesn't matter what happening around me. I'm fired up. I get an opportunity to play this game. I'm going to give it my... He even looks like he's to the point of, this ain't it.
So how does people keep their jobs if this is the mindset of the team?
I've been saying Andrew Berry should have been fired.
This dude got
you said for a small fee you come fix the Browns, right?
Sean, did you hear what Tomlin said?
Absolutely.
Did you hear Tomlin's
quote? Yep, and you know why?
Yeah.
You know why Tomlin said that? Because they play Cincinnati on Thursday night. And Mike's looking at it like, why would you throw a lifeline in a life vest to a division opponent who was dead in the water? Like, I don't care if you weren't going to play Joe Flacco. Why would you throw Cincy a lifeline? I mean, Browning was awful. Their season was over. You give them Joe Flacco, a division team, like that was almost a direct shot at, okay, we're going to try and prevent the Steelers from winning the division because Baltimore had already catfished the season. And Mike's got every right to look at it like that. Like, I don't know the owner personally. I've never met him. I don't judge people I haven't met, no matter what people say about him. But this was a dirty dog kind of move.
You remember my mom and dad used to you listen to oldies, radio. It was called The Quiet Storm. They'd be listening to slow jams. It'd be 6 o'clock at night, and they used to have a song always come on, "Woman, woman," right? I'm gonna say coordinator to coordinator, play caller to play caller, schemer to schemer. What are your thoughts on Kevin Stefanski, specifically, strictly on the X's and O's?
So let me make you the smartest guy in the room, Bush, when you go on your show.
Okay.
The play caller has to adapt to the temperament of the quarterback. And if you look at from the start of last year to now, the only time Stefanski's offense has looked explosive, even though it ultimately resulted in turnovers, was when the quarterback had the temperament of Jameis. I'm going to be aggressive regardless. I'm going to take shots regardless. That's the last time we saw Jerry Jeudy look like a number one wide receiver. With Dillon Gabriel in the game, that's not his temperament. Like Dillon Gabriel would fit great in San Francisco, where, you know, they want to dink and dunk. They're going to throw everything on time, get rid of the football. That's his game. Ironically, Shedeur doesn't have Jameis's arm talent, but he does have Jameis' mentality. So when he gets his opportunity, it's going to look more explosive because he's going to take more chances, be more risky, and try and create those explosive plays. So not to dodge your Stefanski question, but the temperament of Dillon Gabriel is such that outside of the fact that it was 9-6 at halftime and 9-3 at halftime and 16-6 in the third quarter, the only thing I would question is how Quinshawn only had 12 carries.
Crazy.
Because the game never was out of hand. Like, I would have leaned on Quinshawn way more, but what he tried to do was substitute the run game with the short passing game. And that's why you get those 52 attempts. Because I think what Dillon threw, maybe 2 balls down the field the entire game. So it wasn't like they were out there gunning it. They were trying to substitute the short passing game for the run game, which is a mistake because Quinshawn's he's a home run hitter. And so you give him the football, he makes things that are wrong right. So that would be the criticism I had. But when you look at play calling, understand it also has to do with the temperament of who's playing quarterback.
First of all, go Bucks for giving Q love. Go Bucks. You're right, 100%. Anytime you could give it to him.
Well, is he really a Buckeye?
Yes, he is.
Is he really a Buckeye? I mean,
where did he win the ring at again?
I mean, he was at Ole Miss longer than he was in Ohio State, and then you guys bought a championship. It still counts.
So if that's the case, then Joe Burrow is more of a Buckeye than the Tiger.
Hey, Sean, I think Tyvis was one of the dudes that helped deliver that Brinks trunk at Ohio State. He pulled up on him
all that aside, Sean,
hey guys, hold on. Right before because we got to keep Tyvis in check. He always buck this, buck that. Tell him until they beat Michigan, we don't want to hear anything about the Buckeyes.
They have to win this year,
man,
don't they?
Better.
Listen,
Michigan stinks.
It's the thing, Sean. When people bring that up to me, like, I did what I was supposed to do. Like, I can't control what goes on there. You asked me what I did. We was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is a different day and age. I imagine that they get it done this year. I don't know. But we got months into that. Let me talk to you about the Browns. Now, last time we talked, you said something about on the lines that using an offensive line or having a terrible offensive line is an excuse that shouldn't be used.
It's a crutch.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Even looking at what's going on right now with the Cleveland Browns and Dillon Gabriel getting lit up and Joe Flacco getting lit up, you still feel that way about this offense that you cannot just all put it on the offensive line.
Absolutely, and here's why. Name one quarterback in a game you watched this past weekend in the National Football League that wasn't under duress at least 35-40% of the time.
Yeah.
Just name one.
Ain't nobody sit back there like Dan Marino, them statue. Ain't no statue.
And it's a couple of things. First of all, I don't know what happened in the water in America, but the genetic makeup of guys in the front four is as elite as it's ever been. You can't block these guys. These are Tarzan characters, man. You're not blocking these guys consistently. And secondly, and here's what nobody talks about, because teams don't ever utilize under the center passing game, they have a target now because the quarterback's in the shotgun. So those guys are already back. That end is there. When you're under center, I could take 1, 2, 3 and throw the ball in quick game. I could take 1, 2, 3, 5 and throw the ball, bang eights, speed outs. And no matter who's rushing, you're not going to get there. But because everybody's in that shotgun, teams got a different landmark now. It's hard, man. It's real hard to protect, from that position consistently. So to answer your question, no. The offensive line wouldn't even be in the top 5 things of I think, of the biggest issues with the Browns because it's a league-wide problem.
Sean, I want to wrap it with this. I refresh my memory. What did you think of Jackson Dart coming out of college, and what do you think of what you've seen of him so far in the NFL?
I think I had him as my number 2 guy behind Cam Ward. I know McNuggets has those somewhere, but I thought
probably, yeah.
He was
Dart was
very. Yeah, that's what I thought I had him there because when you look at the tape, first of all, he got some swag to him. He had it at Ole Miss, and I don't mind swag coming after production. and then ending at the end of the game. And that's what Jackson is. Like, he's just a kid, man. He out there, he competing. He's not afraid to fail. You know, he's willing to go. And he's talented. He's got good arm talent. He's a good athlete. I thought he had a chance to turn into a good player. He's on that pathway. Giants have to be careful because, man, their wide receiver group look like the Browns. Man, I don't even know a couple of these guys out there. So they're going to – I know Malik Neighbors is hurt. Right.
Yeah.
Right, and he's not there. So now you look out there, he's throwing to Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt. I mean, their NFL resumes, you know, aren't significant right now.
Hyatt was a Biletnikoff winner. Stop it.
I said NFL resumes. Everybody was good in college.
Just saying.
No,
the talent is there. He was a Biletnikoff
They
winner.
had, what's his name? Little John Humphrey. What's his name?
Little Jordan.
Little Jordan.
Little Jordan.
Put some respect on Little Jordan, bro.
Little John. I like that better.
I remember Lil Jordan coming out of high school. He went to University of Texas. Charlie Strong was there. He's a guy that's been super talented from high school. I think he's like a Deebo Samuel, though. He's a Swiss Army knife. He's got to get the right spot where they could use him in the right ways, you know. But to your point, Jackson Dart is my number 2 player. Yeah. I think he got a very favorable landing spot because people never talk about this about Brian Daboll. He was really good with Josh Allen because Josh Allen and Jackson Dart kind of play and are wired the same way. And so that's why you see Daboll so in love with Jackson Dart. You don't see the man crush that he has.
He does.
Like they hug, they kiss each other on the forehead after the game. Like Daboll, like, boy, you saved my job. Like, it's nothing that you could do.
That's true.
I wouldn't support you in. So
the Browns
I thought Jackson Dart had a chance to be big time. And listen, I don't feel like I get enough time on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, so we're just gonna power through the break. I'm not leaving. I got a cigar to finish.
What
so
kind
let's continue.
of cigar is that?
I'm smoking on Oliva Series 5 today, this morning. You know, light stick, got a little Starbucks, you know, get the week started.
We actually do have to go, but if you want to hear more from Sean, he's going to be on my podcast tomorroh.
I am. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
He didn't even remember.
And I need to holler at your boy. I'm texting you right now. I need you next Wednesday.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey, thanks for having me. I'm really disgusted that I don't get more time than I do, but thanks for the little small moments I get.
You're the best, Sean.
All right, Sean. Talk to you tomorrow.
He sound like my wife.
He is hilarious, man.
Sean's the best, man. We love Sean King.
All right, go ahead. Let's talk some hoops.
Let's
8
do it.
days from the start of the NBA. Well, is that when everybody starts, or is it just when the Cavs start next
8 for the
Wednesday?
Cavs, 7. 1 week from tonight is the start of the overall NBA
With the new
season.
TV channels in the mix.
Yep. And this Cavs
NBC.
topic is brought to us by Rougit. What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. And if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougit Go Long. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. If you're ready to level up your confidence, head to Rougit.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 15% off your first order. That is Rougit.com, promo code LOCKEDONNFL. Make sure you use our code so they know we sent you. All right, guys, this happened earlier in the preseason. The Cavs had their final preseason game tonight. But during halftime of their first preseason game, it was the first NBA game on NBC, and their halftime broadcast crew involves Hall of Famers Tracy McGrady and Carmelo Anthony. And they had some
Carmelo
interesting...
already in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't pay any attention to the Basketball Hall of Fame, unlike the other
He's
two
a Hall of
sports.
Famer.
Isn't that weird?
They were on the studio analyst show for the halftime show for the Cavs, Bulls, and they had some interesting comments on Evan Mobley that we haven't talked about yet. So I want to play them tonight and then make this discussion go even deeper. But here is Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony on Evan Mobley.
We saw Giannis took that step right around his 4th or 5th year. He's showing more. He's going inside. If you could score inside and you have the versatility to knock down shots from the outside, you become hard to guard. You become easy to play with. You become a media darling. And everyone pause as he goes up, takes that dollar up the top and leaves 4 quarters. And once again, inside work for Evan Mobley. I'm looking for him to take the jump, and that's why I think the Cavs take that jump.
I think he could be an MVP candidate, right? Because I think the Cavs are going to be at the top of the Eastern Conference. I think he's going to take another leap offensively to pair that with his great defensive prowess. I think you could put him in the MVP discussion
I
this
agree.
year.
Okay.
You might disagree though. I think
Hard winning MVP, man.
I understand.
We're not saying he's going to win it. We're saying he's a candidate.
I understand what you're saying. MVP got to be loud. They got to be something that's just, it's flat out. It's clear. You the MVP. This is what you're doing. Your team is winning. I do believe Mobley have an opportunity to be an MVP candidate. With that team, what they're capable of doing. If he takes that next step, which Coach Kenny Atkinson is talking about, and he developed like the way we think he should or the way we think he will, he's an MVP
This is what's
candidate.
going to be scary for him. Like, he's put on some weight, and as we've seen in those clips and what we talked about in the pregame, I want to see him in an internal on the offensive end, putting pressure on the defense. He's long, he's lanky, high shot release. It's going to be difficult to block his shot in there, and he could put guys in foul trouble. But when he step out and knock down that clip from beyond the arc, man,
If he's trailing,
knocking down that trail three, yes.
I kind of like that group, by the way. Brady, you didn't even give Brian Scalabrine any love there, Mike.
I forgot, to be honest.
I like
forgot.
Scalabrine,
Well, he's not a
too.
Hall of Famer. I said Hall of Famers.
Shout out to Scalabrine.
The White Mamba.
Shout out to Scalabrine. You know I'm an internet baby, internet troll. I be watching on YouTube. Brian Scalabrine be going around showing people what's real.
Yeah.
It'd be like
Did you see when he went down to, was it Rucker Park?
But he played the Messiah.
The Messiah. Was that at Rucker Park?
It wasn't Rucker Park, but it was in
He
New
be
York State.
giving these twos buckets.
By the way, I saw the Knicks and Nets are playing at Rucker Park next year. Did you hear about this?
It's an exhibition. It's not a real game, but yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Why don't they play?
They can't play outside. They can't play outdoors.
Why not?
It's concrete, bro.
Yeah.
So what?
Are you crazy?
I can't play outdoors anymore because it destroys my knees. They're not playing a real
Well, if
game
they're playing an
outdoors.
exhibition, they're playing on there. Are they
No,
not?
no, no.
I'll be surprised
Concrete.
if any of the real guys play.
Concrete don't move, bull.
None of the real guys are going to play?
I mean, like in the Cavs preseason game on Sunday,
Nobody
none of
plays.
the starters showed
Mike,
up.
you telling me
Don't the Cavs got a
you're
game
telling
tonight?
me these guys don't ever play on concrete?
No.
No.
I don't know how I played in concrete in high
He's
school.
gone soft as a country.
Oh,
and
no,
that's the final straw.
We've actually gone smart.
We've got smart, yeah. Yes.
We actually give
Trying
water
to extend your career.
We actually give water to football players in 90-degree
Inappropriate.
heats, right? Just
Inappropriate. I'm
right.
kidding.
So the question I wanted to
It
ask.
would be cool to see them play
Shout
on
out,
concrete.
shout out
It
to
would be.
Tracy McGrady for getting the Neo grab.
The question I wanted to ask, though, we'll start Tyvis, and then we'll go down around the horn to Bull. If what Tracy and Carmelo is saying turns out to be true, at least he's in the conversation.
Yeah.
What does a season like that have to look like for Mobley, Tyvis? Like, what does that actually look like in reality? What does an MVP Mobley season look like in your eyes?
MVP for Mobley, he got that numbers-wise, that's like 25, 12, and 6 or 7. Like, and he's got to be on the defensive side. We're back into the DPOY conversation for back-to-back years. That's what that looked like. I mean, he literally would have to do everything. Like, as far, the only thing that he didn't do this year was be a good, like a primary ball handler. Feel like if he add that to his repertoire and he dishing that thing, which he was actually, him and the big assist thing was almost money between him and Jared Allen. He kicking that thing out to other people. You know, he get the ball at the top of the wing, driving and kicking or driving and finishing. I don't see how and he hitting them trays. Yeah, he will be an MVP. So I think the numbers wise, you give me 25, 12, and 7. That's the MVP season for me.
Man, so listen. We talk about the worst MVP seasons of all time.
Don't tell me they averaging all 30.
Wes Unseld, 1968-69. He only averaged 13.8 points a game.
Okay.
Bob Pettit, 55-56. His team won 33 and 39. He won the MVP. And by the way, Russell Westbrook, 16-17. He was the MVP, but his record was 47 and 35. But he did average a triple double.
Okay.
Let me show you why it is a possibility that Evan Mobley can win. First of all, the MVP in basketball is all about it's a media-driven type
politics.
thing. It's politics. Let's be clear.
He already paid away because he got DPOY. He was first team All NBA, second.
First team.
He's on the max accelerator already.
So he already.
If he get to 24, 12, and 7 off of that, man.
Let me show you how easy he can get there. Move his field goal percentage up from 55 to about 60, which is easy. If he go from 18 to about 24 and a half, that's 6 points. People don't be having those 6-point jumps like that. It's very easy he could get 6 points because Darius Garland might not be playing and Max Strus is going to be out of the lineup too. And Donovan Mitchell already made a concerted effort to say we need to have him with the basketball. He already shooting 37 from 3. If he move that up and if he just keep that McNuggets on more volume from a 7-footer, they're going to go crazy. Give me 2 more rebounds a game. I already said I'd be mad because he ain't an elite rebounder. Elite rebounding is 12, 13, 14 a game. Give me 2 more. So if he averaged 24 and a half, 11 rebounds, and give me about another assist a game, 1 more, 4 on 60% shooting, and still win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year MVP, that's easy. Because then they'll say he improved his statistics. The Cavs going to have a great record. He already won Defensive Player of the Year. And they're going to say he's a guy that can also switch multiple positions. He could guard 1 through 5, and it ain't even a bad look. And on top of it, we talking about it here. All it take is the Mikey McNuggets dudes. See, McNuggets don't understand his power. All you got to do is start putting it into the atmosphere. Evan Mobley. Now, Tracy McGrady and Carmelo Anthony done said something about it. Yeah. Now it trickles to the other media members. It's possible.
You know what's funny? I thought for the last 10 minutes that Mike was joking about this question. I did not actually think this was a serious question.
It is a serious, very serious.
Because the idea
that he could be an MVP.
You have Giannis, not Giannis. You have Jokic, who finished second for the MVP, averaged 30, 13, and 11 last year.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even win it. He was 30,
Wait, he averaged what?
13, and 11.
Because it's political.
Yeah, he did.
It's political. He already won. He already won.
No, but what I'm saying is, right, you're right, it is political.
Right.
But
he got to average 40.
Are you kidding me? Evan Mobley has no chance to win the MVP.
Are you crazy?
First of all, their comparison to Giannis is absurd. Giannis, the year before, first of all, 2 years before Giannis won the MVP, he was like a borderline MVP candidate. Evan Mobley wasn't a borderline MVP candidate last year.
Where did he finish on the ladder?
What?
Was he on the ladder?
He got one last place vote, I think.
Yeah, he was a 10th, I think a 10th or 9th place vote.
And by the way, I know I've been a little critical of times at Mobley. This is not really a knock at him. He's a very good NBA player. But this is a whole new ball game when you talk an MVP.
Is it?
Of course it is. His points per game would have to go up minimum of 7 per game and probably 10 or 12.
So to your point, Bo, and I'm glad you brought this up because I wanted to talk about you and I actually on this one, as much as we've been disaligned on Evan Mobley in the past, and Steve, leave this up.
50, 40, 90.
We are very much in line on this one.
Yeah.
An MVP Mobley season, in my mind, has to be 28.5 points.
Yeah.
He's got to jump 10.
Right.
The field goal percentage, I don't think it'll go up because I think he's going to take so many shots to get to that. Yeah. It's hard to increase your efficiency and volume, especially when you're shooting
50,
threes.
40, 90.
His rebounds have to be about 12. Okay. He has to average about 3 to 4 assists. He has to average 2.5 to 3 blocks. He has to be looking at a stat line that when we pop it on the screen,
5 by 5.
You know when we show you the Jokic stats, and you're always like, "Oh my God, Jokic is doing." Yeah. That's what an MVP season for Mobley it has to look like.
Jokic and SGA are better at Mobley than except for defense at everything.
So let me give you this. So McNuggets I gave him better stats in the theoretical season than he gave me. I said he's averaged 24 and a half, 60% shooting, 38% from 3 on higher volumes, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he's the Defensive Player of the Year.
If he is 24 and 11, he gets no MVP vote.
Let me show you why. Let me show you why you basketball aficionados.
I'm not a basketball aficionado.
Well, I'm gonna give you one outlier. Yeah. I'm gonna give it to you, and I'm gonna say, how did this work?
Cavs
give it to you.
I'm gonna give it to you. Huh?
And G, before you give it to us,
pause.
Here's the one caveat. I think, and this is to no doing of Mobley of his own.
Yeah.
But a lot of Cavs fans feel like nothing the Cavs do in the regular season is gonna matter. And when you look at awards, a lot of it's narrative driven. Like the reason Jokic didn't win MVP last year was because he'd already won 2 in a row. So I think even when, and I'm saying when because he's going to make a jump, will it be into that MVP category stratosphere of stats? I don't think it'll be that crazy. But for Mobley, he's going to have to overcome the whole notion that, well, he hasn't proven in the playoffs. We can't put him on that same class as a Jokic or an SGA. And I'm not saying that's even fair.
Keep
I'm
talking.
just saying I think that's kind of the reality of the situation they're currently in.
Let me go ahead. Let me give you this. Let me just set it up. Let me just close this out. And this is ironclad.
Bull,
this is
Evan
ironclad.
Mobley hater.
So let me give you these stats right here. Let me bring this back. So in the year that's your boy. I think no. Let me see. In the year that in 2010, McNuggets, can you give me what LeBron James stat line was?
Yeah, 1 sec.
2010. I just won
By the way,
2020 real quick.
Should I throw a grenade right here?
No.
Let you finish this point.
Let me finish before 2010,
2010. G, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
In 2010, LeBron won his second MVP, averaging 29.7 points a game, 8.6 assists, 7.3 rebounds. He shot 50% from the floor and 33%.
Okay, go to 2010, 2011.
2010, 2011. He finished third in MVP voting.
Right. What he got? What was the numbers?
26.7, 7.5 assists, 7.5 rebounds.
In 2010, they gave the MVP to the youngest MVP ever, Derrick Rose. And his numbers was minimoski, medium sauce at best. Mild sauce, bull. 25 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And he wasn't even the best player.
That was a crazy anomaly.
Here's what I'm saying to you, though. You see, now Derrick Rose was 22. Now, he's the youngest MVP. The hype around Derrick Rose got to a point.
Is he still the youngest MVP today?
22. It got to the point. Yeah. There is no 25.7 and 4 is that's Darius Garland.
What do you think the chances are of What do you think the chances of Evan Mobley averaging 25.7 a game?
If I got him to 24 and a half. I'm talking about my stat line. 24, 11,
12.
24, 11, 60%, 38 from 3. By the way, if Evan Mobley shoot 38%, that's higher than his field goal percentage and 3-point percentage than Derrick Rose in his MVP year. Yeah. And by the way, if he wins Defensive Player of the Year, come on, bro. What are you talking about?
All right.
What are you talking about?
Giannis, your boy, finished third in the MVP last year.
Sacrilege.
100 people vote for the MVP.
Sacrilege.
Do you know how many of those 100 voters, Mike, picked Giannis first on their MVP ballot?
70.
Last year?
Yeah.
70.
Of 100 voters.
0.
That is correct.
That's a lie.
Do you know what his let me give you his averages last year for Giannis.
Okay.
33 points.
30 and a half points, 12 boards, 6.5 assists. 30 and a half, 12, 6.5, and he got 0 first place votes.
You know why?
Because he won it already.
He already won it already.
No, because the other two guys were even better, and their teams were better.
No, that's a part of it. But the reason, why did Jokic not win it last year?
Because he wasn't the best player.
Because he already won it.
Yeah, but that wasn't just that. He wasn't.
When it is voter fatigue. Once Giannis won it back-to-back or 2 years, they're like, it's Jokic's turn. Once Jokic won it, it was SGA's turn.
Mobley is I'm not saying it's impossible that he would ever win an MVP.
He could be in the conversation.
I'll open that possibility up. But this year, no chance. He would have to make such a jump. Plus, let's face it, Giannis, Jokic, and SGA, they're dogs. I don't know that Mobley's a dog.
SGA and Jokic.
Is Jokic a dog?
SGA.
I think he is.
SGA,
yes.
SGA and Jokic.
Yes.
SGA and Jokic will cancel some of their votes out because they've already won. That's
I
already
just
a part.
don't think Evan
Giannis is
playing. He's got to jump to 22, 20 points next year, and then maybe the following year we can have the conversation.
But you disregarding the stat line I'm saying he can win at.
I don't think you could ever win that way again.
What?
The offense, like the NBA even 12 years ago is not the offensive juggernaut that it is right now.
What do you,
if Mobley's, and the same thing for Wemby, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I think Wemby is closer to winning an MVP than Mobley is, even though
Oh, yeah.
team success plays.
I'm going to tell you right now, that
from a
defensive player of the
standpoint,
year thing is done for Mobley.
And
I'm
on
sorry.
a podcast I was
Good point.
listening
He only
to,
won it because Wemby got
Yeah,
hurt.
I'm sorry.
on a podcast I was listening to earlier this week, they were talking about what would an MVP Wemby season look like, And it's the same discussion we're having.
Yeah.
Because the numbers are just inflated across the league, you have to put up these astronomical
you just can't.
stat lines. And the
That
Cavs.
Derrick Rose thing was an anomaly. It shouldn't have happened.
Exactly. I'm with
By
you.
the way, I'm going to
How does Kobe get one MVP?
He should.
That's a
he should have got
crime.
more. I'm going to throw you another. And I've said the opposite for a number of years, and all of a sudden,
You about to
this,
throw, you about
Are
to
you
throw
going to
a
drop a
grenade.
grenade? Is this your grenade?
this weekend, this weekend I realized how dumb I was on this subject.
Okay, go ahead.
I know I'm going to get a lot of pushback here.
You're going to watch regular season basketball.
I mean, I will, but that's not the. grenade.
Baseball season's over.
I'm actually excited to see it on NBC
What
because
is
I think it was a
what
kid
is he
watching the
about to
NBA
say,
on NBC.
man? Let's hear it.
Michael Jordan is 100% the GOAT. And the fact that I ever, for a moment,
When did
thought
you,
it was LeBron is insane.
Okay, so first and foremost, when did you see, Mr. Bull, that changed your mind to start with? Because I need to do therapy. What happened?
It was a variety of things.
What happened?
He
got a year older.
I was watching. I was watching just a video of Michael Jordan highlights again, of course.
That nostalgia.
And then I watched this interview with Charles Barkley talking about Michael Jordan versus LeBron, and I thought about. And then I also watched this video that really turned me off on LeBron. And that's what it was meant to do, to be honest. But
so he understands it was propaganda, and it still was susceptible to it. Let's hear it.
Like, when people said to Michael, "You're the great," and that probably in private it was different, but in public, when people said to Michael, like, "You're the greatest player of all time," like, he didn't want to hear that stuff.
He would always say it was like magic.
It was
or
wilt.
But do you believe maniacal Michael
No, I don't
Jordan?
think he believed that.
Thank you.
I think that the fact that he was like, I don't want to hear that. Like, whereas LeBron is like. LeBron was like, "Yeah, I'm the greatest player ever." So, I don't know. I just like.
That's what
he
takes
himself-
did it?
It was a combination of all these things, and I thought again about, like, to me,
in your era,
how tough the NBA was. Like, Michael Jordan.
By the way,
and players, the great players feared Michael Jordan. They don't fear LeBron. I believe that. Not that you don't respect him. If you ask me who's a better athlete, a physical specimen, it's LeBron. If you ask me who the greatest basketball player of all time is, I'm saying Michael Jordan.
Technically, you're wrong in both. I mean, Giannis is the answer in both. We got super chat.
Super chat. Hey, I turned my time over to the senator from New Jersey.
All right, super chats. We
Mike, who
appreciate
do you think
everyone
is the
following the
GOAT?
rules.
By the way, I don't know how you feel.
Giannis?
You never really saw Jordan.
I saw I didn't see
Yeah,
Jordan
neither
live
Travis.
enough to know, but from all accounts, he's the GOAT.
You
so.
seen that dude in Milwaukee, though?
All right, and he's not the GOAT. The first one comes from Qadir Richards, who says, Barry, look at Brian Flores or Derek Ansley. I'm assuming to replace Kevin Stefanski as head coach.
Who's
Derek Ansley?
And look up who Derek Ansley is.
He's making that name up.
I know who Ernest Angley is.
I don't know who that is either.
Mike Ricksecker says, with Callahan out in Tennessee, what's the etiquette for getting Bill back and would he want to return? Mary Kay answered that for us. She walked us through the whole process. If you want to go back, you can hear Mary Kay answer. That was the very first question of the interview with Mary Kay.
Send that email.
According to Google, Derek Ansley is the pass game coordinator for the Green Bay Packers right now.
See, that's the problem.
I want somebody
Previous
that's been a
defensive
head
coordinator
coach.
at Tennessee.
Let me
and
just
Los
say this real
Angeles.
quick.
I'm not trying to find the next
I got to harp on this. We always want to hire the hot coordinator. That's not. He might be a great head coach. Might be. I'm not saying he won't be. We can't. That shouldn't be the reason you hire somebody.
You can hire the hot coordinator.
I want to get in your ass coach. That's Flores. I want a guy who had a level of success, but ultimately he had a one. I want a second timer who's learned from his mistakes, and I think that's exactly what Brian
Sometimes we
Flores
say
is.
retreads are bad. Sometimes retreads work out better because they've learned from their mistakes.
They've learned, and with Brian Flores, he's a defensive coach. Then have Brian Flores hire the hot shot coordinator on offense.
They
Let's
not
go.
gonna let Flores be a head coach. He sued the NFL.
I know that, but I'm hoping
and he won.
They probably will blackball him.
Job.
However, maybe the league is like, let's somebody hire him, so maybe he'll take it easy on
I don't
us.
think that's the case.
All right, next
you're
one
probably
comes
right,
from
though.
Bill Rodewalt, who says, can you guys ask Sean about the importance of long-term veteran backups to teach young quarterbacks? So I texted Sean.
Yeah.
Got your answer for you. Sean said, essentially, it's cool to have a veteran in there, but it's not the end-all, be-all. A veteran quarterback's not going to make a young quarterback good or bad. The good quarterback is either good or bad and then can be helped.
And it probably depends on the individual relationship between that veteran and young quarterback.
Phil Bowman says, we get it, guys. Do what's needed. Go Browns. Damian F. says, send all Super Chats after 12:15 to me directly.
That was crazy.
Were there Super Chats sent after 12:15?
There were.
Did we sign that contract?
Bran Benny says, thank you guys for your everyday content. This is my first and last Super Chat, but appreciate you guys. Thank you, Bran.
Hey, appreciate you, my guy.
Caspers123 says, thanks for the new Super Chat process. Yesterday was very tense. I didn't enjoy it at all. I love this show. P.S. Jason, go to the bathroom before the show starts.
Yeah, Jason.
What's crazy is he does. He does. His bladder's just yay big.
And when you get older, man, you be having.
But you know what?
some
Dustin's
issues.
even worse. That guy has to go to the bathroom 30 minutes into the show.
Well, he also pounds like 6 monsters before the show.
Yeah, he do got.
And it's because he's up playing tennis at 3 a.m.
I drink 2 bottles of water every show, and I'm fine.
Impressive.
I keep forgetting to grab my water before the show.
RBNs Through the Fire says, how much longer do we have to pretend that Shador isn't ready or that he can't run the offense? Also, if Gabriel's better than Shador based off the draft, then I guess Pennington, Carmazzi, Redmond, Bolger, and Wynn were all better than Tom Brady.
Here's why. If you're a Shador Sanders fan, here's why you should be excited. If everybody flames out and they don't look good in this offense, and like Sean King said, if Shador come in here and throw these footballs downfield and this offense looks good, and God forbid they win some games, there is nothing that anybody can say. They're going to have to put the statue up tomorrow.
Legendary.
And you know the victory laps you can do on the internet? You just got to wait a couple more weeks.
Browns Twitter.
You could be
legendary.
Victory laps.
By the way, you know those same people are going to blame the Browns if Shador doesn't play well.
Of course.
100%.
It was Kevin Stefanski.
Shador is obviously going to get a chance soon because there's no way Dillon Gabriel is going to survive much longer.
Yeah. He's on. Yeah, that hold is not. That's why I'm just over here like this. Hey, play it out.
After the bye, I bet you.
King Savage says, idea, $2 to $5 Super Chats gets a shout out, $10 gets engagement. So I think he's saying if it's a
$20 gets sex. There you go.
This is not a prostitution show.
Allegedly.
Sign up for that.
The feds do not rate this, and ICE. We have everybody is regular. We good. Don't you have them coming to Cleveland this week?
No.
Shay Peters says, this is from yesterday. Wasn't the Lions bad in the last 12 years, and recently in the last 5 years they've been good, or am I tripping?
John Dorsey.
Oh yeah, they've been. Let's go to the teams that was trash. The Lions was one of them worst to first type dudes.
Yeah.
Commanders.
Yeah.
Commanders also. New owner.
New England.
And new quarterback.
New England been balling.
John Dorsey.
Brian Keller says, thank you guys for the Super Chat change.
Final
Orbit says, I watch from LA. Give a East Coast, West Coast time next time. It's a good problem to have. So it'll be 12:15 East Coast time, 9:15 West Coast time.
That's right.
We worldwide.
West Coast time from living in Seattle.
Dog Pound K9 says, fire Barry and Kevin, hire John Dorsey and John Gruden.
Oh, do you know what kind of chaos them boys would be up there with a? Oh my gosh, Berea would be. We would get a lot of sound bites though.
We go from ultimate nerd football to ultimate meathead football.
Oh,
Chucky Dolls.
I'm done with John Gruden. Not for me, but.
He also sued the NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Yo, he ain't getting another job then. It's over with.
Yeah.
Dragon the Abandoner says, we should have traded Miles and collected more picks. I'd rather have some young O-line talent than a guy who disappears for multiple games, takes a big payday, and acts like a victim in his post-game press conference.
If Jason was here, he would say, I wrote about it.
While I don't feel bad for Myles Garrett,
I am not trading
superstars don't grow on trees. Don't get crazy.
I am not trading Hall of Famers.
Go ahead.
I'm going to keep him.
Vernell Jackson says, I was talking about Jackson Dart pre-draft, and the panel laughed at me. Now y'all mentioning me in daily. Hey, Bull, some of us do know what we're talking about.
Vernell, you're the only one who knows what you're talking about. The rest of the people don't.
Crown him. Vernell Jackson.
You, Vernell.
Hey, by the
call
way,
him King Vernell for the rest of the week. King Vernell.
There he goes. He's the Jackson Dart whisperer. Let's go.
KTB says, I got 2 questions for Ty.
Levinson?
Is that the
show?
KTB. You know what? Okay. Honestly, it could be KT Leviston. But this is KTB.
Yeah.
Tyvis, 2 questions. What's your translation of Miles' comments? And inside the locker room, who are they blaming?
You talking about the Miles? Which comment?
Miles talking about, that he's frustrated with.
Hold on. Let me turn the player mode on for Tyvis. There you go. Go ahead, Tyvis.
Miles is saying that something got to change. That's what he's saying.
Who's he blaming, though?
You know who he
Stefanski.
blames.
All the above, letter D.
You always blame the head coach
Yeah.
because it's the culture of the team and the fact that we can't do anything. I mean, he's not going to blame Jim Schwartz because this is the thing. Jim Schwartz came in and changed the culture. I told you, not only on the defense, but the entire team.
Right.
Like that entire team 2 years ago was taking the fight to everybody. We've yet to see that since. Yet to see it. I haven't seen it since that year. The defense got a little something to him, but the offense don't. Quinshawn is the bright spot because Quinshawn is the only person because he knows no better. And he's the only person on that offense that goes at people, and he does it and still chirps at everybody, and everybody probably look at him like, "What are you doing?"
I want to add a super chat.
You know why? You know why that is? Because you adopt the mentality of your play caller, and your play caller.
Soft.
Hey, can I add
No comment. I don't.
Go ahead.
No comment.
I want to add a free chat to his question up underneath. Why when people say Jim Schwartz could be a interim coach or a coach or replace him, why don't he never get no love? Why is it's automatically shut down?
Because everybody think about 0-16 with the Lions.
Okay.
By the way, KT Levinson, if that is you, save your money, buddy, because you're about to be out of a job. Let's go.
This guy.
Go ahead.
B. Haas says Di Podesta is Rasputin.
If you got to go back to Russian
When did
literature
he
way
get
back then to hear
I just had to explain that
As soon
reference
as they
to Mike.
fired,
Right.
as soon as Banner and
16, right? 16.
As soon as Banner and Holmgren were out, he came.
Banner and Lombardi.
Yeah, they-
So he
I think
came.
it's
So he
16.
was here with Hugh Jackson.
3 blind mice.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Oh, he ain't did a thing.
And then he was here with Dorsey, but he had no power with Dorsey.
And then
when
all the
Dorsey
power.
got fired, he got a lot of the
Yeah,
power.
he
But
ain't did a thing.
who knows? I don't think he's involved in things with like a Joe Flacco trade. I
That
can't imagine, but
Rasputin comment was
yeah,
like
that was
deep.
good.
All right, Q says Pitt has one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. Justin's rushed for 4+ yards per carry heading into the game. Stefanski's answer: throw it 50 times with a rookie head coach, with a rookie versus a Hall of Fame coach. Hashtag new game plan needed. Hashtag I am a boy McNuggets. Hashtag my real name's Paul.
I like that.
So shout out to Q,
Paul.
aka Paul.
That's true. Yesterday you weren't sure if it was a boy or girl. Go ahead.
We have some breaking news real quick. Hector Gomez tweeted, source Emmanuel Clase will never pitch in the MLB again. The gambling evidence found against him is irrefutable.
Oh, wow. Are you serious?
That's from Hector
I'll
Gomez.
read the rest of the Super Chats. We'll get into that in
overtime.
Overtime
Yeah,
segment. Go ahead.
so because of breaking news, I'm going to read through these ones relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Dragon the Abandoner says, I would argue that firing Kevin would make the job even more unattractive considering all the situations he had to deal with here, and he still got 2 Coach of the Years. Derek Waldmiller,
got that number one
says,
pick.
crazy to think how big the show's gotten since the start, and Ty still ain't a media member. You guys are our therapy. Go Bucks, go Browns.
Ty is a media member. Thank you.
Hold on.
He said not.
Hold on. Let me click this
are?
back. Tyvis Brown, Cleveland Browns Radio Network. You're now back. I left you in player mode.
Not a media member.
Dragon the Abandoner says, fire Kevin, and I promise you are not getting a good candidate. No one is going to want to come here, and the leftovers will crumble under Haslam's dysfunction.
Oh, well, we got Myles Garrett, we got
Well, why
Denzel
would
Ward,
the Browns
and an extra number 1 pick.
The Browns, if they don't fire Kevin, they're not going to get a good candidate either because they're not hiring a coach. So,
Davey Davis says, would John Gruden be helpful?
I don't think so. You? I think he's past his prime.
John Gruden?
Yeah.
It went kind of left in Las Vegas, didn't it, a little bit? We ain't gonna remember we had hired Mike Mayock?
Yeah, that was a disaster in Vegas.
Yeah.
They had
He's old. Go ahead, Mike.
AB, and he had
Topo42 says, all boils down to the complete failure of the Watson deal. You lost 3 drafts, and we're trying to find gems in late rounds. 0 ability to rebuild.
Yeah.
James Mace Jr. said, G. Bush, don't forget about prime Baker Mayfield.
Oh, prime. Well,
That was not prime Baker.
well, now this is prime.
Baker Mayfield.
This is prime
This is
USDA
prime
beef.
Baker Mayfield.
Wagyu beef. Japanese egg.
Certified Angus beef.
right here.
He's Wagyu.
Next one, Daryl Green says, question for UCSS. Are the Browns using Mike Hall as a blueprint on how to have a player on the roster and not play them for Deshaun?
Yeah, what is
Hall's been
happening?
Hey,
practicing
I think the knee injury is more extensive than
They should have
would
put
like
him
to
on.
put him on IL.
They should have put him
because
on the
they want him to keep him practicing
All right.
to see if he's ready. But I think the knee injury, when he's hobbling, he's still favoring that knee. They should have went ahead and redshirted him.
Stupid.
Derek Waldmiller says the Browns' offense was better with Phillip.
Come on now, talk about it. Talk about it.
No.
Don't get me going. Don't get me going. Say it ain't. Say it ain't.
Awful.
We won
Equally
games.
awful.
We won games.
TW says, I don't think the Browns have the ability to develop a quarterback and then build the team around that quarterback's strengths. I see both quarterbacks leaving and better on different teams.
I'm not trading one of them.
I mean, who's been better besides Baker anywhere else since?
Jacoby Brissett.
He's played one game, and he was decent
I'm just
here.
throwing the
We
name
just
out there.
playing. We just playing.
Jacoby did play well, though.
Josh Dobbs.
Nah.
He didn't even
Morning
play.
Coffee says WFAN Radio New York called for the Jets to trade for Shador. Yes, please.
No. We can't. Morning
Not
Coffee,
before-
I love you. I
not
told you.
before
By the
we
way,
see
They
Richard.
got to come through us over here first.
By the
before
way, the Jets are as big a bleep stain organization as the Browns. So if you're a Shador fan, don't get so excited about saying
I am not trading him before he plays a game in the Browns
That's
jersey.
a fact.
He gonna have to
that's
play here
silly.
first.
The Browns have had better quarterback situation than the Jets, arguably, in the last 10 years.
No, we need that. We need to see that.
Baker's
Yes.
better than anyone the Jets had.
Yeah, whatever. It's terrible.
Christopher Waits, unfair fight. My you-know-what, this is the NFL. They made their bed.
Now lay in it.
I don't know what that means, but go ahead.
NBA R28 says Andrew Berry was in the front office for 1-31. How he get this GM job?
He was actually. He was part of the front office. He ain't had no power, but he was in the office
Yeah,
during
you
131.
can't blame him for that. Or blame him for that.
Next one's from Brady. Tyvis, how does film study actually work? Do players get called out in front of people, the whole team? Is it in a position
should.
room or team meeting?
All the above.
Depends on. Yeah, no. It starts off in the team meeting. You get called out in front of your entire peers for sure. And then you go in the defense room. If you didn't get called out in that one, they definitely gonna call you out in the defensive meeting room to show what you did. And then when you get to your position group, you got to watch the whole game, and you're gonna have to watch the play again. So it is. But by that time, if you've explained it, you kind of just skip over the play.
And they gonna call you out your name. Yeah, his name ain't even Tyvis. It's you blankety blank.
It's a different day and age. They don't talk to him like that.
Oh, they don't cuss him out no more.
Morning Coffee says keep DG, move Zappy up, trade Shador.
No.
How about the trade Shador?
Yeah, why would you want to trade him before you even see him?
No, I told you all trades come through
I don't
Kool-Aid Mafia G. Bush. Under no
I'm
circumstances.
not trading him until I see him.
They gotta give me something. Nah, we cool. I'm straight.
All the
DB
people
Dog.
saying that are not Browns fans.
No.
They're
not Browns fans.
They told you that from get-go.
Yeah. Go ahead.
DB Dog 21 says it's clear, guys. Haslam's not firing AB or Stefanski because he knows what they are going through right now is his fault for making the trade for Watson. Remember, before the trade, Stefanski said we can win with Baker, but Haslam had the issue with Baker.
No, it's completely false.
Hey, so let me tell you this: if you think a billionaire owner who moved a team from downtown and paid $100 million to get out of the deal will not fire a head coach because he made the call that he told him to do, you would have lost your mind.
Jimmy Haslam doesn't take the blame for anything.
He
threw out his whole company, all his underlings under the bus when he used criminal activity.
Do AB got kids? Do him and Kevin got like?
Kevin has kids.
Yeah,
I think AB has kids.
AB has kids, yeah.
They like enrolled in like Cleveland public school.
Hey, listen.
Kevin Stefanski lives in. I didn't say where he lives specifically.
Next one.
I've seen him around town, but once or twice. But they go to some. His kids don't go to public school though.
Dang it, bull!
Next one.
Oh, whatever.
Kurt Davis says they need to tell Stefanski to stop calling plays.
Yeah.
Okay.
One Zach says if Arch Manning had Shador's college stats, the Browns would draft him top 5.
Of course.
That's a fact.
If Arch Manning sniffed any of that, they tell him to sit down now. We already got you on ice, Arch. Sit by me.
And the last one before 12:15. Anything else? Like we said, we're not going to read. We appreciate everyone who sent them in. Comes from Antoine James. Should be out of excuses. Yes, we don't have good players, but isn't it the head coach's job to make the team better?
Yes. There you go. That's the way to end it on a very solid note. Yes.
All right, breaking news from Major League Baseball. Emmanuel Clase's career appears to be over, according to one report.
We're talking about it in overtime.
That's coming up next.
Peace.